Well, hey, it's time for Ask the Tech Guys. Coming up, I'm just not feeling it. How Johnny Jet finally got to Hawaii.
And I'm Micah Sargent, and we answer a printer question that actually is interesting.
And we're going to show you how to take your DVDs and VHS tapes and put them on your hard drive. All that coming up next on Ask the Tech Guys.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is Ask the Tech Guys with Micah Sargent and Leo Laporte. Episode 2019 for Sunday, April 7th, 2024. Blame the kombucha. Well, hey, how are you today?
I'm just peachy keen, Leo.
That's Micah Sargent.
And that's Leo Laporte.
Leo Laporte. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ask the Tech Guys, the show where we get to talk to you over the air about your computer woes, your technology problems. Whoa. 888-724-8289. No.
867.
888-724-2884.
Indeed.
Right?
Yes, you did.
888-724-2884. That's the phone number. You can call. You can be on just the phone, or you can also Zoom us if you want us to put you in the Stargate.
Right here.
That's called twit.tv. Mm-hmm. And what else?
Email, atg@twit.tv. You can send text, you can send video, you can send audio. And you can also bring toys.
You know, my first computer was this.
That right there.
Well, it was a little bigger.
Okay.
It was an Atari 400. I had been going to play video games at Chuck E. Cheese, putting the quarters in.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
And I thought, this is dumb. I should buy a game machine I could play at home and save the money. So I bought the Atari Video Computer System, VCS, which is just the game thing. I said, well, this is dumb. I should have a computer. So I upgraded to this. And then I said, well, this is dumb because it's got a terrible keyboard. It was a membrane keyboard.
Was it membrane?
So I got
at
the
time
800.
Too?
Yeah.
Wow.
But somebody, I probably should have the address. I don't, has put out a mini version of my first real computer, the Atari. When I say mini,
it is. Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
It's so cute.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
And I think this works. The membrane, you would have to have tiny little
mouse fingers.
And this is where this doesn't open. This is where you'd put the cartridges because it had cartridges.
A stylus.
It comes with a full-size joystick though, which is good because you really wouldn't want to play with a tiny little joystick. I just got this in the mail.
This is so cute.
From the UK. That's people who've ever played Atari video games will recognize that. This part would break so quickly. Well, probably not really that quickly, but after many. And look, it has a joystick connector, but it's USB these days, not whatever that weird. Shall we play?
I would love to see this.
Shall we play a game?
We shall.
All right. This connects up to your TV. In the old days, you probably don't remember this, the video game systems would have a box that would connect to your antenna on your TV.
Oh, really?
And then you'd have a switch on it that would switch it into it. So you'd turn to channel 3.
I do remember turning to channel 3.
Yeah. And you'd watch the game. And so that's what this had. But now it's got an HDMI port. It's actually pretty sophisticated.
Yeah, it's got a lot of ports on it.
Where's the read the
this is and it's printed so well too.
It's printed in 18 languages. It feels like every time nowadays everything is printed in I have a feeling this is not an American product, but I think it's licensed. I think it's licensed. Anybody remember your Atari 400? Any of you have one of those?
Excuse me, it's the Auspacken.
Auspacken's 400.
Überprüfen Sie den Inhalt.
I love German. What a great language.
Such a cool language.
It's a silly language. It's the tuba of languages. I don't know what this is. Oh, this might be power. I don't know. Love it. That's in the same original hideous Atari beige gray or green. Was it a green gray? I think it's a green gray. That was the computers came in those days.
On the front, from left to right, is player 1 port, player 2 port, player 3, and player 4.
Player 1 port.
On the back.
Oh, this is power. You know what, Burke? I'm going to need. They don't give you
power adapters
dongle.
on the back.
I'm going to need a USB-C. There's one right next to me. You must have known. You must have known what I was up to. I don't know how you knew. I didn't warn you.
It's the cable that you had in your hand earlier, I think.
Oh, that one. Clever. I need a innie, not an outie.
Can you temporarily unplug your MacBook and just use the
Oh, yeah, I can
right
do
there?
that. Sure. That's a good idea. I could power it from the MacBook.
You could also do that, yeah.
Wouldn't that be novel?
What a novel idea.
My most recent computer with my first computer. Either I've gotten very small, or either I've gotten very big, or this computer has gotten very small. All right, so this, I think, will go into this. I got it, Burke. I think you're right. I think I have an innie right here, and that goes into...
Zabic.
Oh,
no, it's USB-C on the back. The power is USB-C.
It wants... What's this USB-A then?
That is for the... it actually isn't labeled here, but power adapter is USB-C next to the power.
So I need a USB-A adapter here. You got one there for those for me?
Or you could just unplug your MacBook and plug that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Doy. No, I got plenty of juice. It's right here. I just do this. Oh, no, you got it? Okay. Look at that. Burke is so good.
Burke's on it.
He's even doing it without getting on camera.
That is impressive.
That's impressive.
You'd never know.
Now, this goes into the HDMI port. This has a bunch of games on it, right?
Yeah, it's got 4 games built in.
Okay, there's an extra HDMI port.
HDMI.
Oh yeah, that's we don't want to mess with that. Oh, I see. It's way over there.
Is it on my side?
Could you plug it in over there?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. This is so silly. This is the good old days. I may be the oldest person around. I don't know if any of you remember this, Atari. I was too cheap to buy an Apple computer. Okay.
You press the one button, Micah, until the input, and then
just keep
see it.
Okay, are we booting up? Do I have to do anything?
There's a power
there's
button.
an on button.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the light just came on.
the light.
The light.
Let me make sure that.
It'd be fun if I could program an Atari Basic. I did that. You know, I would. Oh, yeah. You see English. Yeah. Okay, and then F to select, top to next. I don't understand.
Let's see what the.
It must be this button.
Yeah, let's see what the different buttons
System
are.
reset option.
So the F button is that red button.
The joystick button.
And then the top button just means you take the joystick and point it to the top.
Top.
Yeah.
Do I want 60 hertz or 50 hertz?
I think if you're in North America, you're supposed to choose 60 hertz.
I can't get it to go there.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Run television test.
Here we go. It says
Let's run television test.
kick it to the left, I think. Joystick to the left.
Oh, joystick to maybe the joy. Oh, I get it. I had the joystick.
Yes.
Wrong. No.
So joystick should be in the top left corner.
The button.
Oh, sorry. The button should be in the top left corner.
Okay.
Yes. A 4-way button ring. Oh wait, are there? I bet there are little buttons on there.
There's 4. This is something that Atari didn't have.
There we go.
Television test. Press that to accept settings. I think I'm going to accept it because, frankly, I don't see what's going on here. Okay. Oh, golly. Okay. Select is F. Run television test. I guess I have to.
Yeah, the button on the left.
Turn the joystick to the right or left instead.
Where should this button be?
Okay, so the button should be in the top left corner.
That's why.
There we go. And then now there we go.
Okay, what game do you want to play? I'll tell you what I want to play. Oh, Battlezone was the one I spent so much time at Chuck E. Cheese losing money on. I wish you could hear it. Is there audio? We can look. Centipede. You know what I love?
Coming from the TV directly, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'd have to have it on the ARC port. We're not going to do this for too long. That's the best game of all time.
Star
Raiders, yeah. Missile Command. I really liked Miner 2049er.
That looks like fun. Oh,
it's like a Donkey Kong. I played this a lot. Oh, we're going to turn up the audio.
Woo!
Okay.
Woo woo!
Does that sound familiar or what?
By Bill Hogue.
This is
Here we go.
God, this brings back memories of my youth. Except I wasn't that young. Oh, I need this shovel.
49er and her
Whoops.
daughter.
I fell off the edge.
Oh, wait, you can't.
You can't fall off the edge. No, that's
fall damage.
very high.
You're right. The realism of this game, I'm
It's
impressed.
so realistic.
Oh, you need that little.
How do I
pixel.
get it, though?
Nice.
Do I need the thermos? What is that?
Oh,
he really can't handle falls.
No falls for him.
Anyway, we shouldn't play this all day, but you see what fun.
It's very, I mean, I remember miners talking about all these little things they have to
It's
avoid.
like Donkey Kong a little bit. Yeah, I got to get the Levi's.
Like, I don't know about that one. Oh, so close.
All right, enough said. Anyway, look at that. Isn't
That's
that
so
cute?
cool.
I don't remember where I got it.
Great score. Enter your name.
Oh, wait a minute. This is the most important part.
Oh. Oh no.
Anyway, there you go. I'm going to bring this home and attach it permanently
Yeah, there you go.
to a television set. You can press the button to get away from this. There. Look at all the games, though. Doesn't that look like fun?
That does look like fun. That's awesome.
I think there's 40 games in there. I don't remember a lot
The
of them.
Electra slide.
But Centipede, some of the classics are in here.
Boulder
Missile
Dash.
Command, Boulder Dash, Berserk Battle Zone's a lot of fun. Well, you know, there's Asteroids. You remember that, right?
Asteroids.
Do you ever play Asteroids?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's how I got
Yoop.
started. Actually, Pong was how I
Ooh,
got
that looks
started.
fun.
7 Cities of Gold, O'Reilly's Mine, Missile Command. That was Miner 24. Now, Millipede is a great game.
Millipede's
You
fun.
played that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I loved Mule.
Ooh, a turn-based strategy game.
Yeah, Mule was like a real good
Ooh,
game.
gather resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my kind of game.
Yeah, you would like Mule. I played a lot of Mule back in the day. I feel like that was a Chris Crawford joint, but I might be wrong. Anyway, there you go. There you have it. I'll find out where to get it. Actually, has the chat room found it yet? Futuristic Since Forever. Is that it? I think our Discord is so good at this kind of research. Won't you take me to Funky Town? Oh, all the animated gifts. Let me get down there. Is that it? Yeah, the Atari 400 Mini. Thank you. At Atari.com.
Wait, it's Atari's own.
Oh, well, yeah, it has to be. Atari doesn't really exist anymore. Except in this kind of weird $119.99, $120. That was a lot less than I paid for the full size.
I was going to ask you how much. Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably $250, something like that. I couldn't afford an Apple II, which was over $1,000. 25 8-bit classic games, and you can connect up to 4 joysticks, so you can buy more joysticks.
So you said it was 250?
I don't know. What was the year? Oh, in 1978, 79, something like that. I don't remember when it was.
I think
it was
you
late
may have
70s.
paid $250. That would
Probably
be
$5,000.
$1,190.33 in today's dollars. Wowza.
Wowza. So this is gonna be a fun day today because we have a live in studio audience for Twit coming up in a couple of hours. We have chairs all set up. This is very exciting. Probably people will start to dribble in. Let's hope they don't dribble on us.
I was going to say, yeah.
But they will start to dribble in to join us. Yes, that'll be fun. John Ashley behind the console. But mostly this is all about answering your questions. Johnny Jett coming up at 1 p.m., about an hour and a half from now to join us, our travel guru.
Guru guide.
Anything else we want to talk about?
No.
There weren't a huge number of stories today, so I'll save those for Twit later. Normally we do. I should mention one thing. The guy, you know Rap Genius, the website?
I do.
And genius.com, it's follow-up. The guy who founded it, Mahbod Moghadam, passed away at the age of 41. Oh. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, that was in the time before you could really get lyrics anywhere else.
He started that.
It was really nice.
And it was so successful that rap artists would go in there and say, no, you misunderstand. That's not what I was saying.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Really a great story.
Yeah, and that's right. It evolved from just being, it was kind of like, what was cool about it was, or what is cool about it, it's a sort of community of not just pacing the lyrics themselves, but also trying to interpret them. And I love they'll sometimes it's sort of Wikipedia-like in that they will reference different interviews and things like that, so you can learn what somebody was actually trying to say whenever they were writing. I think it's
very important,
clever.
right?
Yeah.
He then went on after Rap Genius to do Everipedia, which I don't remember.
I've not heard of that.
A more inclusive, accessible online encyclopedia. Great idea. He was a pianist, fluent in Persian, French, Arabic, and English, and an angel investor. Passed away at the age of 41 due to a brain tumor.
Oh, that's so sad.
Moghadam. Sad story. I don't like to do sad stories, but that one, I think, you got to acknowledge the people who made the world we live in today. It's really important. Apple also added game emulators. Speaking of the Atari,
that's right. Allows
the App Store.
them. Yeah.
So somebody's going to be making an Atari game simulator. So you probably just buy that instead of. I think this is.
But this is unique.
Cute.
It's a unique thing.
It's so cute.
It's nostalgic.
It's. I think maybe we should feed this to Lily and see if she. Turns into a centipede or something. Just like that. It's a memento for me, a trophy of my youth.
It's very cute.
Yeah. Thank you, Atari, for making that. This is serial number 12,505. So it's unique. One of a kind. I think we should do calls. Do we have any calls? Yeah. Is it too early?
No, I got to call them, gain them into the room.
I got calls.
Remember,
the jingle, jangle,
star
jingle.
6 to unmute yourself.
It's funny that Atari has come back as a company, but a retro company.
Right, exactly. Yeah, isn't that lovely?
Yeah. Futuristic since forever, it says on their homepage. It's the
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
It's the 25th anniversary of Roller Coaster Tycoon.
God, I love that game.
Yeah. And you can buy, it looks like a full-size version of their Atari 2600, which is kind of cool.
Caller *6 to unmute.
*6 to unmute. You can also buy sneakers. Atari sneakers.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
What's your name? Your first name, and what city are you calling from?
Hi, it's David. I'm calling from Ontario, Canada.
Hello, David. Welcome. What can we do for you today?
Hi. I'm interested to know if you can help me out. I'm trying to connect an Apple TV to a projector.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
it?
I'm having difficulty because there's only an HDMI coming out of the back.
Oh, what do you have on the projector?
I just have an HDMI going from the Apple TV to the projector.
Oh, and you want the audio. Okay. So normally,
I want to put the audio over to
audio, as you noticed with this little game, goes over the HDMI as well.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, ideally, that's the way you want to have audio because this has the most bandwidth. Do you have on your projector anything like an audio output port or a speaker port? Or
I don't, unfortunately. I have, it's connected through the ceiling. So I only have HDMI cable running up through the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And I have speakers down that I'd like to plug it into, like a sound bar, etc.
Yeah.
But
well, that's not hard to do. I feel like, can you look at the back of the projector or is it embedded?
I can look at the back of the projector. Yes. Yeah.
Have you looked at it to see if there's audio out?
I believe there is,
but you
possibly an audio out. I guess
too hard to get.
I'd have to run the wires back down through the ceiling, back down to the.
Right. I'm sure whoever installed that thing, did you install it?
No, it's just a cable run through the ceiling. So I'd have to run it down through.
Whoever installed it obviously had a provision for audio going to speakers. In fact, you might look around where the speakers are, see if there's wires coming out of the wall. But if you can't, you can split the HDMI coming out of the Apple TV.
Yeah.
You're still going to need wires probably.
Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. There are a couple of ways to make this happen. The Apple TV, if it's a newer Apple TV, technically has Bluetooth compatibility. I don't recommend that for the best sound possible.
Yeah. Although that's what you use for AirPods, right?
Yes, that is what you use for AirPods.
So you could have a pair of HomePod speakers.
That's what I was going to say, and that's different because that uses AirPlay, so it's over Wi-Fi. So if you had HomePods, HomePod Mini or HomePod, then it becomes a simple process. You just have to have them plugged in, and you can route audio to them. You don't have to worry about extra cables. But we did see, and there are multiple options for what's called an HDMI audio extractor, which is what some folks have posted in the Discord. And essentially,
that's what I heard. Yeah,
that will you plug HDMI into one end, and then out comes HDMI, but also a couple of ways to get audio out that goes to a separate place. So you could then plug the speakers into that.
If you didn't yet buy the speakers, or you were lucky and you bought a soundbar that supports AirPlay, that's easy.
Then you're sold.
That's wireless.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
Because it'll do it over Wi-Fi, so it's going to be good, high-quality audio that'll have less lag than if you were doing something like Bluetooth.
Have you bought the speakers yet?
I have a soundbar that I was using, but it doesn't have the.
Doesn't have AirPlay.
It can't do that. But I do have some AirPod Minis that I have. I didn't think they were connectable to the Apple TV.
They absolutely are. Yeah, especially if you have two of them, you can use them as a stereo pair with your television, and basically it puts that more full audio into the space. So what you do,
that's great.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. So you'd put them in to the left and to the right of the screen, and then what you have to do is go into the Home app and make sure that they are they're listed in the Home app in the same room as the Apple TV. And then on your Apple TV, you go into the settings and you go into audio output. And at that point, it'll recognize, oh, hey, you've got two HomePods in here. Would you like to use those as your audio output? And then it will use those as your audio output. So you'll have kind of left and right audio. It's technically sort of virtualized fuller than that. The one thing with HomePod Minis is I found that if you are using those, because I was using those temporarily until I found somebody who was selling another first generation HomePod, at which point I replaced them. The audio has to be louder. you have to have the volume turned up a little bit more.
Because they're little.
Yeah, because they're little things for it to be kind of the same. So once you get past the sort of discomfort in your mind of seeing that volume near the top of the meter and just go, oh, right, but this is just what it needs to be at for me to actually hear it, then it's fine. But that was kind of for me at first. I'm going, why do I have to have it up this loud? But it's not louder. It's just that's how loud it needs to be for it to sound full and good.
Apple doesn't expect you to have wires. They don't like wires.
Yeah, they're not wireless.
They want you to do wireless speakers.
And I've been using HomePods, 2 of them, as my speakers for a very long time now. It's very consistent.
Sounds good.
And it sounds great because I've got HomePods, not HomePod Minis. The HomePod Minis, as I mentioned, I used for a little while I was waiting for another HomePod first gen to make its way to me, and it was okay, but you would have a better experience with HomePods.
By the way, your AirPods would work also.
Yep.
In fact, yesterday I was watching a show. Lisa was in bed. I didn't want to keep her up, so I put in my AirPods, and it's funny. You forget you're watching with headphones because they spatialize it in some sort of way. In fact, if you turn your head, the sound still comes from over there, from the TV. So you really forget very quickly that you're listening on headphones, and it's like you're listening in the room. So if you have AirPods or AirPod Pros or AirPod Pro Max, and you pair those to the Apple TV, at least in the interim, it's a great way to listen. Of course, it's just you. You can't. Can you have more
that's great.
You can share audio to one other pair of AirPods.
So you could have 2 sets of AirPods?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. We'll have to try that. It sounds actually surprisingly good. It might even be better than speakers, come to think of it.
Yeah, the biggest thing about it is Apple really has nailed the syncing between the video and the audio, and that's where it matters.
Don't do it with any other Bluetooth headphones. Do it with AirPods. Yeah, that's
I do have the 2 minis, so I'll definitely give those a try. Yeah. The latest generation of the larger, I'm sorry,
HomePods. The big ones.
The HomePods. That's what I meant to say. The big ones. Do they work with Bluetooth as well, or
they're AirPlay, and those work exceptionally
They're
well.
AirPlay.
He likes that. Yeah.
So if you ever decide you wanted to make that upgrade, I can highly recommend it. They sound great. They have the latest processing in them, so it's going to be a better experience. And then also Apple has if you find yourself having trouble hearing dialogue, they also have an enhanced dialogue option with those second generation HomePods that I found to be really well balanced, to where it isn't obvious that the mix has been redone, but it's good that it rises above the rest of the sound. So
it's funny.
You
I have
options.
I have in the bedroom, I have a very nice pair of ELAC, very high-end speakers with a very high-end codec, and I can listen to music on that. But I also have a pair of the new HomePods. And I have to say, they're doing some processing that makes it kind of sound better. It's pure psychologically.
Right, exactly.
It's not probably as perfect, as clear, but it does sound better somehow. And maybe that's the spatial.
And somebody's pointed out in the chat, this is a great point. You can always go for refurbished HomePods. If you get refurbished products directly from Apple, they come with a good warranty. They have a lot of
like new.
Yeah, so you can save $50 on a second gen HomePod. Thanks, Joe, in the chat for that.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the help. And I am a club member.
Thank you.
You guys are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
So keep it up, and I look forward to continue listening. Thank you, both of you.
We really appreciate your support.
Okay.
Take care. Yeah, the club is, if you don't know, is how we are trying to monetize these days, because ad support for all podcasts, not just ours, but all podcasts, is dwindling. And we are a little concerned that, frankly, it'll dwindle to the point where we, like many other podcast networks and podcasts, will have to go out of business. Or as we've already done, severely curtail what we do. We've already cut back. But our hope is that by creating a club and asking you to join the club, we can maybe fill the gap and continue to do what we do. Club Twit is $7 a month. It's not very expensive. We always want to keep it that way. You get all of our shows without ads because, you're paying us. We don't need to monetize you. You also get access to the Club Twit Discord. We talk about that a lot. That's a wonderful chat space, not just during the shows, but all the time. You get video versions of all of our shows, many of which are audio only to the public. You get access to the events that we do, the Twit Plus feed, which is all the stuff that happens before and after shows, plus special events. If you're not a member, can you do us a favor and join? It sure would make me feel pretty good. twit.tv/club Twit. And just to reassure you, that money doesn't go into my pocket or Lisa's pocket. It really goes to keeping the studio on and the power on and the lights on. And it's one of the reasons we're having an event today, is so members of the club can come visit us. I hope if you're one of them that you will have a good time. Let's continue on with whatever John Ashley, esteemed producer man, says.
I saw one of these.
Break?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a break? That wasn't a break? Okay, I'll do another break. This episode of Ask the sound like a break to me. This episode of Ask the Tech Guy is brought to you by Zscaler, the leader in cloud security. It's no surprise cyber attackers are using AI in creative ways. Oh, this is depressing. To compromise users, to breach organizations. They are getting better with high precision phishing emails. They're even at this point doing video. And you probably heard the one with the voice deep fakes, not just of celebrities, but of CEOs. Did you see the one about the guy who wrote a $25 million check because of a deep fake Zoom call with his CFO and other members of the finance department saying, you need to write this check? And he did it because they looked real. They weren't. In a world where employees are working everywhere, apps are everywhere, data is everywhere, a firewall, a VPN is just not enough to protect you. They're not designed for these distributed environments, and more importantly, for these new AI-powered attacks. In fact, firewalls and VPNs have become the attack surface. That's a scary thought. Well, in a security landscape where you must fight AI with AI, the best AI protection comes from having the best data. Zscaler has extended its zero trust architecture, that's the Z in Zscaler, with powerful AI engines that are trained and tuned by 500, get this, trillion daily signals. That's 500 trillion signals every day Zscaler Zero Trust Plus AI helps defeat AI attacks today by enabling you to automatically detect and block advanced threats, discover and classify sensitive data everywhere, generate user-to-app segmentation to limit lateral threat movement, quantify risk, prioritize remediation, and generate board-ready reports. Because, you got to get the board to go, okay, we'll write a check for that. Learn more about, if you're on the board, I know, I'm not mocking you. If you're, learn more about Zscaler. Really, though, you should do this. Zscaler Zero Trust in AI to prevent ransomware and other AI attacks while gaining the agility of the cloud. Experience your world secured. Zscaler. Visit zscaler.com/zerotrustai. That's Zscaler, Z or Z, SCALER.com/zerotrustai. Experience your world secured. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice.
Would be nice. Yeah, that was a wild story. I think we talked about that when that happened.
I mean,
The guy was fooled on a Zoom call.
And
because they were all
reasonably
deepfakes.
so, yeah. You thought, I thought I was talking to that person.
How
what do you
good
do?
can you get?
Yeah. Oof.
All right. Now, with the permission of our esteemed producer.
Yes. Now I'm going to pick up on the caller.
Okay.
James, there we go.
Welcome to Ask the Tech Guys, and soon welcome to the Stargate.
Hey,
what's your first name and where are you calling from?
James, Southern California.
Hi, James.
Hi, James.
Come on down.
I've been listening to you since you're on AM way back when.
Wow, on KFI in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Yeah.
Just a few years ago.
I was thinking this the other day. I was on the radio in Los Angeles for 19 years.
That's a whole
Why
human
aren't I
being.
more famous and rich? That's what I was thinking.
Is that what you were thinking?
That's what I was thinking.
Were you eating caviar at the time is what we want to know.
James, what can we do for you?
Two questions. I've been listening to a lot of your shows. And how come I haven't heard you guys talk about Google killing the podcast app?
Well, in theory, now actually this is interesting you said this. First of all, it only happened a couple of weeks ago, and we did mention it on other shows. We didn't mention it.
Actually, it was yesterday was the last day.
Yesterday was the last day. Yeah, they announced it. And they replaced it with YouTube Music. But it doesn't do as good a job. In fact, I'm getting complaints from audience members that they are not getting their, I think Twig, of all things, This Week in Google, didn't download this week. YouTube,
No,
Google, it's inexplicable. There's a term in soccer, European football, called own goal, where you kick the ball into your own net and the other guys get a
Okay,
point.
listen, I only did that once, Leo. And I'll never do it again.
I think Google is the king of own goals. I mean, they continually, and it's frustrating for us as podcasters. I don't understand it. Did you like Google Podcasts, James?
Yeah, I had all your shows listed, and it was downloaded. It played easily.
You know what I liked about it on the Android device was I could have an icon for each show, just like an app.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was very easy for me to hit the show I wanted. I had a whole page of show icons. Yeah, I loved Google Podcasts. So as of yesterday,
It's completely. I was trying to use it. I think April 1st was the last day, and then it allowed you still in it until yesterday.
So you do have until July 30th to export your podcast subscription. So what I would suggest is that you don't attempt to do it in YouTube Music. Because really you're going to end up paying for YouTube Music, which of course is their whole point. Google Podcasts was free. They want you to pay for YouTube Music. Export it and put it in something free like Pocket Casts, which we like quite a bit. So just find another find another podcast player. And I have to say, what this does for me is it makes me not want to use Google stuff. And when Google announces new products, you better bet most people are thinking twice about adopting them. It's very frustrating. Extremely.
So my question actually for you though is, I have an oldie but goodie question.
Okie dokie.
I still use this.
Oh, look at his
You
Newton.
still use
look
it.
at that little Newton.
It's still my daily note taker. It's still, I do everything still with
That's
this.
amazing.
That's incredible.
That's amazing, James. I have 3 or 4. If you need one, I'll send you.
I still have my 1 megabyte.
Yeah, I have a few of those.
Oh my gosh.
This is the static card.
Yeah. Do you also have an Ethernet card so you can get online with it?
Yes, I do.
I remember the modem card had the little pop out. I don't know. I guess the Ethernet card would too. A little pop out thing for your jack to get connector to go into. Wow. I
love that you're still using.
How's the handwriting recognition? Is it pretty good?
It's good.
There you go. See? Look at that. See how that pops out so you can snap the Ethernet cable in? Isn't that hysterical?
Wow.
Oh, I should just send you my trove of useless Newton stuff. Everyone, you know what's cool about it? It doesn't use rechargeables. You put a battery in it.
Oh, that's because I was about to ask about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Double A's.
Yeah.
So my question though is my G3 that I used just to back this up finally just died.
Oh no.
So I don't know how to back this up anymore now.
Were you connecting it with the serial cable to the?
Yeah.
Wow. That is obscure.
Yeah.
Is there a Newton user
Support
group somewhere? There must be 5 or 6 people who still use Newtons. You think I'm joking? I think that's probably the number. I loved the Newton. By the way, I was.
Or do you have something that's this small that could fit in my pocket? That does handwriting.
That's also a great way to meet girls. They go, "What the hell is that?" What are you? Are you from the future? Because it looks a little bit like you're from the future.
It is like futuristic, but it's a little Star Trek, right?
Yeah. Are you from the future?
The only thing that could come close, I think, and it's not quite slim enough, but the iPad Mini.
No. He wants to keep using his Newton.
No. But he said, "What is another option that also does?"
If I can, yeah.
Yeah, if it can't.
A Mini would be a good choice.
It's a little bit thicker, but it does do the finger or the handwriting recognition. You can write
maybe
with an
even a little
pencil.
bit better, and you can use the pencil.
And you don't have to have a G3 to
you don't need a
back
G3. There are many good. There's Good Notes. There's Notability. There are I use Notability, but there are a lot of really good choices.
And even Quick Note that's built into the.
And you could use Apple Notes.
UI,
yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't want.
I have the iPad Pro. I have the iPad Pro. To do all that for when I need something in my pocket. This is the smallest, and this has been the most convenient.
Yeah,
but the Mini's bigger than that. It's thinner,
exactly.
but it's bigger dimensions. It's also lighter.
Yeah, that's true.
I think you could still sync that.
I know. I just want you to be able to keep using this. I don't want to give you new things.
I've had this since '95.
Yeah,
that's so cool that you.
30 years he's been using that thing.
Wow. I think I paid like $2,500 for this back then.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Well, yeah, no wonder why you went.
Hey, Bert, can you bring me 1 or 2 or 3 Newtons, whatever you can find? They're in my museum.
We are kind of sort of keeping this going because then more of the people who are listening who are also geeks, nerds,
So it has a serial port on it. You can get a serial to USB connector. So it's not a problem in terms of getting that connected. What it is an issue of what it will look like to the computer that you're connecting it to.
Can it just be a hard drive?
Yeah.
Because if you could plug it in and it kind of treats it like a flash drive, so to speak, then boom, you're good. You could back it up.
What software were you using before on the G3?
I was using the Newton backup.
Yeah, so clearly that's not going to work anymore. Yeah, that's it. These are the. I have they're starting to stick together. You got to separate them every few years.
Oil them down a little bit.
So which do you have? Do you have the 2000?
The 130.
Oh, yeah, the Orig. Wow, that's so cool. I mean, I do think it kind of feels like you're living in the future with this thing. It's kind of cool.
Actually, that's the 100.
Oh, you have a more recent one. Is this the 130? I don't know.
130 has the.
Oh yeah, you've got your modem card.
Lid.
Yeah, and you have a stylus. Yeah, I don't think I have a 130. I think I only have hundreds and the 2000.
The 2000.
I guess I missed out on one of them.
The pen comes out of it.
Yeah, isn't that nice? It's right there in that little slot. I'm curious. I have a bunch of cards in these things. I should just send you this stuff. You get spare parts. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, have you tried using?
Yeah, that'd be the first thing I do is get a USB serial.
I did, and it just
nothing.
The computer looked at me like.
I wonder if using Linux.
And laughed.
I just don't know what the Newton sends. This is actually a great project, James. Here's a great project for you. You might have to write your own code. Here you go. Somebody's already done it. Never mind. It's on GitHub. The GitHub account, Newton Research. Thank you, Scooter X. He has written a tool. This is hysterical. Obviously, you're not alone. Called NCX, the Newton connection for Mac OS X. And the idea of this is you can back up to your Mac desktop, import and export dates, names, notes, and Newton works. Install packages and use your Mac desktop keyboard to enter text on your Newton. That is truly amazing. So this is on GitHub. This is going to take a little bit of skill probably to install. Nobody's done anything to this in 2 years. That was the last commit. It is an Xcode project. So you would need on your, you have a Mac, James?
I have an M1.
M1. You have a modern Mac, I should have asked. So on a modern Mac, you'd run Xcode and you'd download this and you'd run it. It's an Xcode project and it would build something for you that would, in fact, they even describe how to build it. They said Xcode 8, which is pretty old. So I'm sure it'll still work in Xcode. But you know, the trail to follow is these guys, Newton Research. Who the heck are they? They have other Newton stuff. So somebody is out there supporting the Newton, and that's pretty cool. So this is the first place I'd go. Talk to this fella and see, and you could leave him a message if he's still around and find out what's going on. But you could, so in other words, with the right cable, which is basically the USB to serial port, so you could plug it into the Newton, and then
I have it to the USB to the USB-C. So I have like two connectors.
They might make these days a USB-C to serial. Who knows? You know, there's always going to be somebody. Where is the serial port on this thing? Where do you connect that?
It's on the side. There's a rubber.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, that's a weird. So it's not even it's a DIN connector. So it's not even a standard connector, is it?
No.
Yeah. That's power.
Apple. Apple
exactly. Proprietary.
Well, but I think that is not completely proprietary, but it's just it's not as common as the DB25. That's a DIN serial. So yeah, you may have to dig around. You might even have to break out the soldering iron. How's your soldering?
Oh my Lord.
It's not hard to make.
Not too bad.
Yeah, it's not hard to make a cable. You just you have to get either end and you solder it together. But you could make this with the proper pinouts. You'd have to find the Newton spec. But look, if you want to be somebody who uses a Newton, these are skills you need.
That's true.
You can't just blithely say, "Oh yes, I use a Newton."
Pretend you are in an apocalypse and you got to keep this thing running. You know what I mean? You got to have these skills.
This is an amazing device, frankly.
30 years, still going.
I think Sharp made these for Apple, right? I think that's who made them.
I feel like it could be, used as a personal defense device.
Well, you have the big one. Yeah. But this is apparently this has Velcro on the back. So this was mounted at some point somewhere. And this one is really much more. This is the Message Pad 2000 that came later because it has a screen cover and all that. Would you like this? Can I send it to you?
I would love that. I'm trying to get my hands back on one of those.
Hang on the line and I will, there's no reason for to be sitting in my in my cupboard because I have enough of them to demonstrate. Let me send you the 2000 and you can see this might be more fun to work with. It's got 2 card slots. And yeah, you said I have, what is this? This is the fax modem card. So this does the same thing yours does, which is where is it? There it is. It pops out the
14.4.
Yeah, 14.4 X-Jack. That was made by Megahertz. Remember them? And then there's another card in here. This is probably the same card you have, the megabyte memory card. Oh,
I have static and flash.
Dude,
that's an upgrade. Actually, flash.
2 megabyte flash, dude. 2 megabyte flash. Okay, the only thing I'm going to ask you is if you find any private data on there, you erase it because I have no idea what's on here. Probably some of my my old beats.
This is It's wild to see. This is 1 year younger than I am.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
This could have been your first computer. Now, this one has a different serial port on this, which is, I think, really non-standard. Or is that HDMI or something?
I know it looks like HDMI, doesn't it?
Some sort of weird port on there. And this one had, the battery on this is a little different too, see, and it has 4 AA's in there. I guess these are recent, so I must have fired this up, and let's see. I wonder if the battery's still.
I tried turning it on.
Did you try?
Yeah.
All right, I need new batteries.
But maybe I don't know how to turn it on.
Well, no, there's nothing to it. What a fun thing. Let's hang on the line, James. I'll get your address. Actually,
yeah, if we can do it in the Zoom chat.
John, do you know how to do that?
If not,
actually, you know what, James? Email me. You can email me directly, leo@leo.fm, and I will look for it. Use the secret. I don't know how we're going to know. Send me a picture with your Newton in your hand, and I'll know it's you.
There we go.
And just send me your address, and I'll be glad to ship that off to you.
Thank you so much.
It's going to a good home. I'm happy.
Yes.
Are you kidding?
I really appreciate it.
Good. My pleasure. And then go to Newton Research on GitHub, because apparently they're still doing some Newton stuff, or they were. You see a whole 17 followers, 17 people who have Newtons.
And 16 others. Or I guess you'll make the 18th.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, James.
You for the call.
Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Bye.
Yes, we have a winner of the Newton 2000. This thing, it's considerably bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, it's much heftier.
Yeah. I don't know what Apple. This was not under Steve Jobs. This was under John Scully. But
I think it's cool.
Brilliant engineering went into this, and of course, a lot of those people went on to Sidekick, and I mean, this was a big part of Apple's story. Wow, came out after the Mac. Before Steve came back.
As a Ute, I would have loved to have had one of those. I think it's so cool.
So somebody sent this to me, obviously. ZZ did.
Oh, ZZ Top?
No, I don't know. It looks like this was used in some sort of industrial setting.
Oh, good.
Right? Because of the Velcro.
I thought you may have done that just to
No, I didn't do
that.
I didn't do that. But I'm not going to take it off. I'll let James take it off, because I'm afraid if I do, it'll fall apart.
Something will happen, yeah. It's necessary to the structure.
It might actually be holding
it's a support beam
together. Oh, here is from Every Mac. Thank you to the fabulous Scooter X. Here are the specs. Now, that mini Atari probably does not have a 6502 Atari chip in it. It probably has, an Arduino or Raspberry Pi, some sort of more modern thing. But here we go. This is the good old days. Came out in 97. So you were a couple of years old when this came out. It is a strong ARM 110. Apple founded ARM to make, with some other companies, to make these Newtons. They needed a ARM chip. So this is the earliest days of ARM. 4 megabytes or 8 megabytes of ROM. That's the operating system on there. It comes with 1 to 5 megabytes of RAM. That's a lot for 1997.
That's incredible.
This is amazing. 2 PCM-CIA slots. Those are those 2 little slots there. And it's 480 by 320. This is actually pretty impressive. Originally, almost $1,000, but that was in 1997 dollars.
Yeah.
As you don't have to go back to the inflation calculator.
I'm going to look it up for myself because I'm curious.
And for people like me and James who are using Google Podcasts, export them. Google has instructions on how you can export your subscriptions in a format that's a standard RSS format called OPML. Once you've exported it to OPML, any podcast player or RSS reader can import that, so it's easy to move. You think that's for a dock? Burke's saying the DIN is for a dock. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, that funny one.
Oh, that's
for a Newton dock. Yeah, they probably had plans. They had plans. Apple did, believe it or not. This has gone the way of the Apple car.
Vroom vroom.
Apple Music. We've had trouble for people moving over to Apple Music. I mean, YouTube Music with their. YouTube Music with them, their Google Podcasts. I've seen at least one person who said it's not working. So I think I would try download before it goes completely out of service in July. Download your OPML file and save it. That's all your subscriptions. You could put that somewhere else. That's just Google.
Oh,
I gotta. The Velcro is to hold it to a nice leather case. I don't think so. Do you? You think that's what it was? Oh, and boy, Scooter X, you're really he's a kitten on the keys this weekend. Here is.
Oh, I'm not going to that page. I got that too. I'm like, never mind.
Probably just when I get that, I just say, let's go.
You say it's fine.
Let's go. That page is down, so I don't know if it worked for you.
Scooter X, are you trying to trick me?
Scooter. What should we do now?
There's a question I would like to take.
Yes, sir.
Because it's a question you wouldn't want to answer. So this comes.
Is it a printer question?
It is. And I can speak specifically to it because I understand this.
Okay, you do the printer question and I'm going to play with my Atari.
Play with your Atari. So this comes in from David, who's in our Discord. And David writes, "Greetings, Leo and Mikah, longtime listener of Leo's since ZDTV days.
Woo!
Hoping you can offer a solution to my problem. I have an HP Smart Print printer. I had been paying every month for HP Instant Ink as there seemed to be no other option to choose for my printer. My big issue is since I had purchased the printer, I've never received any cartridges from HP despite being charged $6 per month. To be honest, I rarely print unless it is for postage, so I don't ever make the quota of 50 pages per month. The last month they tried to charge me, I had my card account locked to avoid any charges I didn't authorize, so the payment did not go through for HP Instant Ink. They sent me an email that they were disabling Instant Ink on my account, but what they've done is disable my printer.
Oh, by the way, that's what they mean.
Yes, I no longer have access to print to it. Is this even legal? Is there a solution to my problem other than paying again for Instant Ink? That program claimed to send ink cartridges when they sensed your ink was running low, but as I stated, I've never received any cartridges from them. So in essence, I was paying for the privilege of using an HP printer. Please help David. Now, David.
First of all, I just want to say, screw you, HP.
Yeah.
This is, by the way, there are different divisions of HP. They split off. This is the printer group. Their CEO, Enrique Lores, said in January, he wants to make printing a subscription.
I mean, yeah.
People who buy printers are, quote, investments that don't pay off if they go third party. And that's why they have a subscription.
Yes. So I want to explain something, David, because you have the benefit of someone who reads the fine print. Print. I didn't mean the pun. But here's how this works. When you get an HP printer that offers HP Instant Ink, you have two options when you first get the printer. You can either opt to use it without using HP Instant Ink, in which case you buy new cartridges whenever you want to buy new cartridges and you install them and they work.
You buy them from HP.
Yes, you buy them from HP.
Very important.
Yes, no matter what, you're buying them from HP.
You can't use anybody else's.
No, but that you can do it without using HP Instant Ink. You buy the new HP Ink cartridges, you install them. However, if you opt into HP Instant Ink, then you have to do it the way that they have it set up. So when you opted into using HP Instant Ink, you gave them permission to deactivate your printer if you stopped paying for HP Instant Ink. And in fact, what they do, and it's really annoying, is that HP Instant Ink cartridges are actually higher yield cartridges than the non-HP Instant Ink cartridges.
Interesting.
So they send you an HP Instant Ink cartridge, and the moment you install it into the printer, it is activated as part of your subscription. The second you stop paying, that HP Instant Ink cartridge will no longer print. Your printer will no longer print. The only way to get out of it is by buying HP ink cartridges that are not part of the HP Instant Ink cartridge subscription anymore.
In other words, pay your subscription because the reason it hasn't sent you more is because you haven't needed it.
Yes, it doesn't just send them willy-nilly. It only sends them when you've run out of ink. And
when you go low.
When you go low.
The idea being, well, we're going to get that to you before you'll need it.
And and this is the other thing too, is that yes, unfortunately you have to keep paying, but if you had run up to that 50 pages, then that's where they would start charging you more. I think you're in the lowest tier subscription. And so you haven't run up against the 50. So that's
think
the,
about
the
it
agreement.
though, because the printer's like $100. Printer's cheap because they know that you're going to get $6 a month from you for the rest of your life. That's still only $72 a year. It's not. In the old days, printers would cost hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. If you like the printer, I think it's not unreasonable. Now, Laura has even said, when asked, this was in a CNBC interview at Davos, when asked, well, what you're gonna break the printer if they don't use your ink? He says yes, because there's a lot of IP, intellectual property, built into the inks of the print heads. In the print heads itself and the printers. What we're doing when identify cartridges that are violating our intellectual property, we stop the printer from working. He says it can create all kinds of issues, from the printer not working because the inks haven't been designed to work in our printers, to even security issues. We have seen that you can embed the ink viruses in the cartridges through the cartridges to the printer, from the printer to the network, so it can create many more problems. This is not true.
I was going to say,
in 2022, they had a bug bounty. They actually paid hackers to write a program to put malware on a print cartridge. Nobody has tried it before.
Try to prove it.
And all it was able to do was to buffer overflow the printer. There's no evidence it was coming out of the printer. Nobody's ever done that. There are printer hacks in the world, mostly they're network hacks.
Yeah.
Even then,
it's on like Microsoft's side.
Yeah, it's not. So this is.
Just be honest. That's all. Like we all know that you are subsidizing.
Yeah.
And so just say that,
you
because
don't have to lie about malware
and make up all this other nonsense. Here's my last thing though. If you don't need color for your printing, just get that Brother printer that everybody else has. There's that one Brother printer that every person has, and the toner that comes with it, even though it's a sample cartridge or sample, what do they call them? Are they still called cartridges when they're toner?
Yeah, it's a cartridge.
Yeah, the cartridge lasts for ages. If you only
and then when you buy the next one, which I'm now on my second one.
Oh, you have actually gotten one?
Yeah, it's like 5,000 pages.
There it is, the best, exactly. So we included a link to it. This Brother printer is incredible.
It's a laser printer.
Yeah,
that's the difference. It's not color.
Yeah.
So if you need color,
need color, I have an HP printer and that Brother printer actually, and I use the Instant Ink subscription, and I understand that that's how it works. But honestly, for me, it's less expensive than every couple of years buying a new HP printer when I need it, because the print heads are no longer working or whatever. The
Brother HL L2350. I have it at home. You have it at home, because it just goes forever. The heads don't get clogged. It's black and white. Who prints that much anymore?
Right.
I print maybe boarding passes for an air flight, or
I print more often because
labels.
Of
what do you
stuff,
print, Burke? He prints stuff. That's what he prints. Stuff. It's mostly for us. It's mostly like he put things on my door. He puts little signs on my door, stuff like that. That's all.
It says, Burke was here.
No.
WUZ.
Yeah. I poop on racists, whatever. He prints little signs for me and puts them on my door. But honestly, all the rhetoric aside, I don't think it's unreal. As long as HP should just be upfront. Say,
look, just be upfront.
We're basically giving you the printer. The money we make comes from you buying the cartridges. That's the deal. You buy an HP printer, you're going to subscribe to the cartridges. That's the deal. There's a certain amount of confidence that comes with the fact that you're using legit cartridges. They replace the print head with each cartridge. So he's saying, in effect, that is the printer. What you're buying is a thing to hold the printer.
Yeah.
And you're buying new printers every month, a new print head and new ink and all that. And it's not more expensive than it would be to buy a printer, although that Brother's like $120. It's not hugely expensive. So, and then, other companies are doing tank printers now. Epson pioneered that because they're recognizing that people don't want this cartridge thing.
Yeah.
But if you want good color printing and you want photo printing and that kind of stuff, it's not unreasonable to get an HP.
No, and the Instant Ink program includes a little package so they can recycle the cartridges too.
Which I think is good.
Yeah, which is really nice.
Yeah, otherwise they go in the landfill. So, it's just, they just be upfront about it.
But yeah, if you want to get out of the Instant Ink thing and just buy them from now on, that is something, again, that you can do. What's not clear, you may have to pay one more time to reactivate the subscription, to reactivate the printer. But then at that point, you can say, I want to cancel my HP Instant Ink subscription. You may even be able to do it without. I'm not sure about that. And then from that point on, you just have to buy cartridges that are not part of the Instant
Nobody wants to go to Office Depot and buy cartridges.
Or even order them online and wait for them and not know if they're coming, that kind of thing. So
honestly, this is an article from a year ago on The Verge. Nilay Patel says, the Brother Whatever printer, it's a printer that just prints and everybody you know already has one. And it's true. You have one, I have one. Because eventually you kind of come to the conclusion that you just don't want to deal with all this cartridge stuff anyway, one way or the other. And I'm just going to get a laser. $120. The biggest expense is paper. All right. That's a good question.
Great question. And it was about a printer, but it was still good.
Yeah, no, but that's a printer question I can get into.
Yeah, man. Not why is it not connected?
Dig it.
Don't worry, I made sure not to. I filtered out those types of printer questions just for you, Leo.
Epson used to sponsor the radio show. You may remember for a long time, and I thought I had a great relationship. And then one day they said, "Well, we don't want to sponsor you. You're too political."
Because he was talking about printers too much.
I couldn't understand it. It was like, what do you mean, me? I'm not political at all. But they said no. They can't. I think it was because I was on the same network as Rush Limbaugh at the time, and I think that they probably just decided they didn't want to be on iHeart or something. I don't know. Political? No, it's not. It's just a computer talk show.
So, Leo, before you answer the email, I actually have a phone caller who's been waiting a little bit.
Well, put him on. Put him on. Yeah.
You need a *6 though, caller.
*6 to unmute yourself, or *6 if you please.
I bet you most of the inkjet printer companies become subscription inkjet printer companies.
It makes sense. Hello.
Hey, what's your first name and what's your city?
This is Neil in Chandler, Arizona. How are you? Nice to talk to you guys.
Are you calling
I'm a club split member for one.
From a church choir room?
Yeah, it's a little echoey. Get up a little closer to the microphone. What's your name?
Well, actually, I'm using Neil.
Hi, Neil.
Let me switch over. I was using my hearing aids. Just one moment.
Oh, no, the hearing aids don't have microphones. Just talk closer to the phone. Your hearing aids are fine. Just talking to the phone.
Oh, okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that a little better?
Yeah. Hi, Neil. It's good to talk to you again. What's up?
Okay. A couple of simple questions, I think. First of all, I'm watching the show. I'm watching it with YouTube. I like to watch on the big TV. I was going to try and use it from the Discord and AirPlay it out to the television instead because I have an Apple TV, but it doesn't seem to offer that functionality.
It does not.
There is.
Your computer could do it.
Well, no, you should be able to
full screen it
instead of air. So you're probably used to the normal way of AirPlaying, right? The way where you see the little AirPlay icon and you can play something from that. But let's actually, can we switch to AirPlay 1 here in a moment, John? So I'm thinking that what you can probably do is instead of doing just a straight up AirPlay, you use the screen mirroring functionality. So I have turned on screen mirroring on my iPhone, and we'll show that on AirPlay 1 in just a moment. And I am in the Discord while I am screen mirroring. And then what I'm going to do here, as soon as we can show it on screen, is I'm going to join the stage. And so it's unlike a typical AirPlay session where you are actually taking something from your phone and shifting it to the screen. You're just mirroring from one device to the other. So I can, or your Mac, you can do this from your Mac as well. Is it still not popping up, John? Okay. Let me switch away really quick to AirPlay 2 and we'll switch back. And so with this, you should be able to then screen mirror the content. So I have joined the stage and I am able to watch this on my screen. And I can, of course, there we go. So you can see up in the top, and this of course,
so now this is your iPhone screen.
Yes. And I should be able to take this video here and make it full. Let me see how to do that.
So basically you're in Discord on your iPhone. This would work on a Mac as well, though.
Yes, it would.
And you AirPlay to your Apple TV.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to make it go full screen here, but.
Oh, maybe it doesn't though. See, I was under the impression that they don't do that.
There we go.
Oh, look, he's doing it.
So obviously
it's really
going to be
a great way to watch.
Yeah, it's hard to there.
And it's because you have to wait now because it was playing itself. Right?
Yeah. So now you can see that it's actually playing that full screen. So yes, and the way that you
but
get
that won't do that at home.
No. So the way that you get to screen mirroring is you will go into your control center on your phone, and in Control Center you've got a screen mirroring option, and then you would choose your Apple TV from here.
So it's not using the facilities of Discord to do it. You're just watching the video on your device and then using the device to AirPlay.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
You. Well, my main question, thank you for that.
Sure, Neil.
I don't mind using YouTube. It's just that sometimes it's hard to find the live feed for the show.
By the way, Neil, some of the people in the Discord are saying that some hearing aids do allow you to use them as Bluetooth headsets. Mine, I use the microphone on the phone, and I have the hearing aids make the sound. Would you do, just to see it, what kind of hearing aids do you have?
A Phonak.
Phonak. Maybe the Phonaks do that. Tap your hearing aids. Let me see.
Yeah, these are they're expensive. They're about $3,000.
Yeah, I know. Hearing aids are outrageous. Yeah. I'm going to a new audiologist in a month. You know why?
Yeah.
Because I have tinnitus, the ringing in the ears, and it's gotten worse and worse. Basically, it sounds like there's a tea kettle in the room.
Ugh.
And it's always blowing, and I can't take it off the stove.
I think I would be.
It drives you
insane.
nuts.
Yeah.
So there is a treatment that came out of Germany that the FDA has approved now called Lenire, Lenire. And I found an audiologist down the road a piece in Marin County that does the Lenire treatment. So May 2nd, I'm going in for my consultation. I will let you all know because I know that about 5 to 10% of you also have a ringing in your ears. If this treatment works, you're going to see a new man. I'll be tap dancing before you know it. So anyway, that's a little side note. And I might at the time get new hearing aids. You like the Phonaks? I'm using the Resounds right now.
Well, they work very well. They actually work very well. It was funny. I was going to buy, the not over the counter hearing aids, but they had them on cheap. They were advertising them.
Yeah, nowadays, Jabras are the ones everybody's recommending. Yeah.
Jabra, that's what I was looking at the Jabra. And I was thinking about getting the Jabra, and then I contacted my insurance to see if they'd cover them, and they said, "Well, you need to get an audio exempt." I said, "Okay, that's reasonable enough." I went to the audiologist, and then she got me to take, she wanted me to get real hearing aids, not those Jabras, and the insurance paid almost like $500. Okay,
well, that's good.
They have good insurance, so
you have good insurance.
It only cost me like $500.
You have better insurance than I do.
Exactly. So,
go ahead.
I guess.
What can we do for you?
But I did have. Okay, so here's my question. I have an iPad, 2018 iPad Pro, 11-inch. I've had it for several years. It seems fine, except the cat decided that he wanted to knock it out of my hand one day. It kind of chipped the corner of the screen. It still works.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just got a little, you know how the glass kind of splits. But the question, I guess, comes down to, and this is maybe it's a Micah question or both of you, whether it's worth repairing. And I know that Apple charges $500 for that screen repair, but I could buy a new iPad, for only a couple hundred more. So I guess that's my point: is what the best course for the otherwise functional iPad? Whether I should replace it or just get $500 to get the screen repaired.
Oh, okay. This is a tough one.
We should mention the new iPads are coming out. We think
that is true. We may see some new iPads soon
in a few weeks. In early May 6th is the current rumor.
So that's something to keep in mind if you decide to go the route of replacing. 2018 is not that long ago, so it's still pretty powerful laptop. I mean, basically iPad. It's mostly about that it bothers you, right? It is not messing with the functioning of the display.
I have to say though, be careful because it can cut you.
Yes, that is, yes.
Since you're touching the display and rubbing your finger.
Say that again?
Yeah, it's just in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you move your finger there,
it's otherwise functional.
Yeah. It's up to you. Just as you say, does it bother you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could always put a case on it that covers the corner, in which case that you don't even have to worry about it. This is really, either is a good option. It boils down to what you want. If you want the newest, latest, greatest, wait until May-ish and get the newest, latest, greatest for a couple $100 more. If you don't feel like you need the new, then and you have to replace or repair it, then yeah, that $500 or whatever it will be for you is worth it.
Eventually,
that price will go down
and the crack will expand.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's been my experience. It's been a while since I broke a screen, but my daughter breaks them pretty regularly. And it's usually a little crack.
It starts out just a little
and
thing.
It gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Any stresses put on it are going to start to grow that crack.
So I would not be in a hurry if you can live with it. And I would wait at
least until May. Because if you wanted to, you then could buy a newer, but not the latest iPad to replace it, and you maybe even come out breaking close to even on getting a repair.
Now, here's what, again, we don't know exactly, but the rumor is Apple has new iPads Pro with OLED screens, which will be gorgeous. And those, the latest thing I saw is that the 11-inch they're having a little trouble with. They had some trouble with the software. They had some trouble with the screens, but I think the Pros are for sure coming out in May, but the 11s might be hard to get. Mm-hmm. But the real question is, are they going to do an iPad Air? Are they going to do an iPad Mini? We love the Mini. It's way overdue for update. They won't be OLED, but are they going to update those? So I suspect it's at least worth waiting a few weeks. And then I would start thinking about getting a new one. That crack is not going to get better.
It's not going to keep small forever.
And $500, forget it. Now, you could go to iFixit, do it yourself. I don't recommend it. It's very hard to do. So $500.
I read the directions. It looked fairly complicated.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to do it.
I enjoy it, but it's not for everyone.
Yeah. I think we're going to see new iPads, and I think this is just a perfect time to do it. And then keep the cat away from the iPad from now on.
I've been pretty lucky so far, but he had his own ideas at the time. You know how cats are.
That's all cats have. They don't have anything but their own ideas. Nonstop.
But it's great to talk to you. And thank you for taking the call. I'm a Club Twit member now since the beginning, and we've talked several times over the years. And I've bought many products from the radio show, all the way from, I still have my Audible subscription from 2011.
Nice.
Plus a lot of other products that you recommended. They're all very good, by the way, over the years.
I think we've done pretty well with our sponsors. There have been a few duds. Woo. Can't help it. Sometimes that happens. They're good when we start, but I'm glad you're happy. And I love having you in the club. Thank you, Neil. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Leo. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up in about half an hour, Johnny Jet. But before we go on with your calls, you're watching Ask the Tech Guys with Micah Sargent and Leo Laporte. And this show, as always, brought to you by CashFly. And when I say brought to you by, I mean literally brought to you by. When you download it in your podcast player, when you go to our website and you stream the audio or the video, it's coming to you from our CDN, our Content Delivery Network. For over 20 years, CashFly has held a track record for high-performing, ultra-reliable content delivery. Frankly, that's why we chose them. They serve over 5,000 companies, including ours, in over 80 countries. We've been using them for, pretty much since we started. It must be almost 15 years now. And we love it that it's lag-free video loading, that you get hyper-fast downloads, friction-free site interactions, and frankly, you just don't have trouble getting our shows. They just zip in thanks to CashFly, the only CDN built for throughput. So if you are streaming, you'll love their ultra-low latency video streaming. You can deliver video to over 1 million concurrent users with less than 1 second latency. Whew! Can anybody else do that? I don't think so. If you have a game, they'll give you lightning fast gaming. Downloads are faster. There's zero lag. There's zero glitches, no outages. If you have mobile content of any kind, especially websites, you'll love the automatic simple image optimization. So your site loads faster on devices with any size screen. And the thing we really liked about CashFly, they were flexible with us. You know, it's hard to know what traffic's going to look like from one day to the next. It's very peaky, right? So CashFly gave us month-to-month billing for as long as we needed. And then once you could figure it out, you can get fixed terms and get big discounts. The point is you design your own contract when you switch to CashFly. CashFly delivers rich media content up to 158% faster than other major CDNs and allows you to shield your site content in their cloud, which means you get a 100% cache hit ratio. We love that feature. With CashFly's elite managed packages, you get the VIP treatment. Your dedicated account manager will be with you from day one, ensuring smooth implementation and reliable 24/7 support when you need it. Learn how you can get your first month free at cashfly.com/twit. CACHEFLY. Cashfly.com/twit. Thank you, CashFly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can I read this now?
No, that's a good email to answer.
This is a good one? Okay.
I'm nervous now.
Yeah, when John Ashley says it's good.
He said, that's a good one to answer.
This comes from John of Grey Ghost Productions. Oh, thanks, John. John from Burlington, Ontario. I am in the line of totality for the Eclipse tomorrow.
Nice.
Tomorrow. I am wondering if there's anything special I need to protect my Pixel 6a and my Rebel T5 taking pictures of the Eclipse. Yeah, because normally you don't shoot into the sun, do you? I just saw a great article on shooting the Eclipse with an Android device. I think with a Pixel, in fact. So let me pull that up. When you're in totality, you don't have to worry, right? Because it's dark enough, you're going to get the corona. This is from Google. 6 tips to capture the solar eclipse with your Pixel. A Pixel camera expert shares which features. So I would read this for sure. This is on the Google keyword blog.
Cool.
If you're in the area of totality, now look, they've got a whole bunch of stuff. They say, well, you should definitely bring your camera. By the way, don't cheap out on those goggles, baby. Nope. Get them from the Planetary Society because you don't want to. There are a lot of people, at least it happened last time, selling what they claim are eclipse viewing goggles that weren't.
Not.
And you're going to burn your retina. You're going to have permanent damage.
Look, at this time, it's kind of hard to get them ordered. If you are in the area where there's a Warby Parker, Warby Parker is making many available.
Nice.
In some cases for free is what I've heard. And they are sourced properly from Warby Parker. They are genuine Eclipse glasses.
They say use a tripod. I don't think you necessarily need to use a tripod. That's one thing Pixels do very well. They say you can trust the camera to do the work. During the eclipse, the sky will gradually get darker. Really? Oh. As the moon slowly passes between us and the sun, the Pixel phone has automatic settings that can handle this. The screen auto-adjusts. Night sight will kick in when the light gets low enough, right? They do say, and this is true of all photography, practice, practice, practice. Prepare as best you can.
Create a fake eclipse in your home to practice.
Yeah. Do not, though, and this is a surprise to me, use the astrophotography settings because that is a 4-minute exposure and the totality is, only around 4 minutes. So you're not going to get what you think. You don't want to spend that all in one photo, they say. Experiment with different compositions. Move the sun around. Take any photos. This is always the advice with digital.
Always take a lot.
Just keep shooting, right? You're going to focus on infinity, but the phone will do that automatically, but your Canon will not. So make sure your Canon is set to focus to infinity. Now the question is, do you have to protect your sensor from the bright light of the sun? I think you're probably all right. Don't point your camera at the sun until it starts to get
right. Don't keep it there
dark.
Maybe the whole time, but once. And yes, Poco in the chat. This was also something that Rod Pyle Spaceman suggested is to test your glasses. Put them on and look at a light.
Nothing.
And if you see the light, then they're not good enough.
I hesitate to say those kinds of things.
Just in case
that's not really.
It's not the whole kit and caboodle, yeah.
You go to eclipseglasses.com and at least read about, let me pull this up. Eclipseglasses.com is the Planetary Society and Bill Nye, the science guy's site for this. they are selling them, but obviously it's a little too late for that since the Eclipse, as we speak today, is tomorrow. But they do talk a little bit about what makes safe glasses, and you really have to pay attention.
Yeah, it's more thorough than just looking at the light.
Yeah, you just looking at the light, I guess, is better than nothing.
But
I don't want you to damage your eyes.
Don't
right?
take that as its own.
Yeah, I don't want you to damage your eyes. So learn what you can about what Eclipse safety. They have a whole page on Eclipse safety.
And NASA is not in the business of approving or disproving any glasses. So if you see NASA approved, that's a lie.
Yeah, there you go. There is a standard, though. There's an NSF standard, National Safety Fun Guys. I don't know.
Probably Foundation.
Foundation, you think? I don't know. Core 4 method to see if your glasses are safe. The
Core 4. That sounds cool.
This is mostly who you get it from. This is not. But you want the ISO certification.
That's it, ISO.
And the ISO certification is 1, 2, 3. I can't read it. My eyes are damaged.
He's got his Eclipse glasses on.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2 -2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 -2. Unfortunately, there's nothing to stop an evil manufacturer from printing that on their glasses.
Exactly. That's why you just maybe don't even look at the Eclipse.
Yeah, I mean, geez, Louise. So, and I guess at this point you're going to be making your own. And I've heard all sorts of
horror
recipes,
stories.
But I've also heard plenty of horror stories.
Yeah, Rod talked about having to get cataract surgery at 40 because of a horror story. Yeah.
So Rod looked at the sun.
Rod was using a telescope with a lens that was supposed to be
focuses it right in.
Yeah, and come to be 40 years old, both of his lenses were just wrecked.
You know what the fun thing to do is during an eclipse is not look at the eclipse, but look. I'll never forget this. We were walking down the street during the eclipse, and the trees, the sunlight through the trees, and then you look at the sunlight, and you can see the eclipse.
Yeah.
You can actually see, because the tree leaves are acting like a little
pinhole
lens.
Camera, yeah.
And of course, that's what they always tell you to do. And this never was satisfying as we did in school. You make a shoebox with a hole in it, and then you look at the shoebox instead of the sun. That's no fun. It's really hard, though, because it feels like it's safe, because it feels like it's dark.
Yep.
Don't
do it.
Don't. Look at the tree shadows instead. Evanescence Photos asking, was there a spec for welding glasses? Yeah, we talked about it, but I don't remember what it is. Was it number 14? Do some research.
Plus, I can just look at all of the many, many, many photos that are going to be posted everywhere of the eclipse.
I would suggest, though, if you don't have, look, first of all, people are saying, well, I'm not in totality, so forget it. No, it will still be, even here, it'll be eerie because it will get dark.
Yeah.
It won't be total. You won't have.
I think it's 30-some%.
Yeah,
here.
even that, you'll notice it. So I'm getting my car washed tomorrow. So that should be a good time to have a little fun with the eclipse. Anyway, be outside, listen for the animals, listen for the birds. They'll get quiet. They think this is strange.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them will start to begin their sleep pattern.
Yeah, what time is it tomorrow here?
I don't know.
Can't remember.
There's some great websites for it.
Yeah.
This is where the web really is your friend.
The web is your friend.
Here at NASA's site has a good
science.nasa.gov/eclipses.
Explicit score. So it'll be 11:07 Pacific time. See, all you have to do is put in your zip code right here. It knows where I am, so it tells me. And we're going to get 32%, and the time to the eclipse, 22 hours from now. It'll be 59 degrees and should be clear. So it'll be fun.
Meteorologist.
Yeah, there you go. I'm excited. Are you excited? It's fun. Last big eclipse, we went down to Australia to see it.
Cool.
And on a cruise. It was a geek cruise. And it was cloudy. So don't be sad if it's cloudy. Who was it we talked to that was going to That
Mexico? Would be Scott Wilkinson.
Was it Scott? Yeah.
Yeah, Scott's going down there. I know Jason Snell's going down.
Snell's also going down. He's flying down. It's a big deal. Be a lot of fun. And take lots of pictures, I guess, but don't look directly at the sun. Actually, that's why a phone is a great way to do it, because you're looking at a screen. The problem with a DSLR is you're looking through the lens at the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a little riskier. Stick with the phone. What would you like to do next, John Ashley? Coming up in about 20 minutes, Johnny Jett, our travel guy.
I'm going to pick up on caller Rich, who has their hand raised in Zoom.
Rich, come on down. I thought, was this a guy earlier? I thought Rich might have passed on. He had fallen asleep. And I thought maybe he was a goner, but no, he's still here. He woke up. Hi, Rich. Does he have to do anything?
Not if you're a call, or if you're a video person.
It's a video guy.
I see they're loaded in, so we just need to
have to unsilence yourself.
Rich,
did you see that Twitter is gave me back my
were you one that got one?
Yeah.
That's
what you know. I did not pay Elon anything for that. And I don't want it, but I got it. It's because I have 500,000 followers on Twitter.
So that was
Elon's trying to encourage me to participate. Ooh, he's emerging from the Stargate.
Hello.
Hey, what's your name?
Hello, Rich from Rochester, New York.
Beautiful Rochester, New York, home of Kodak. What can
Yes, and I'm going to be close to totality, but almost.
Almost is really still very fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. What can we do for you, Rich?
Crazy. Micah, I think this is a question for you. I'm not a real Apple guy myself, but my wife has an iPad, and the iPad won't connect to Bitwarden using the Chrome browser on her iPad. It just kind of sits there and spins.
Okay. So to clarify, you are wanting to use within the Chrome browser, you want to use the plugin to connect to Bitwarden, not going to the website?
No, this is going to the website. It's not using an extension or anything like that. Put in the Bitwarden website, login, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it would just spin and not connect so that she can sign in even.
Right. Okay. This is interesting because technically, as it stands right now, every single browser that's on an iPad, on an iPhone, on any of Apple's devices is using the Safari engine in the background. So Chrome it's basically it's like a Safari wearing a Google costume. And so the fact that it's not loading through Google Chrome, I'm trying to think of what could be happening here. There could be some settings, maybe some JavaScript is turned off or something. I don't know, Leo. Go ahead.
We've looked into all the settings on the Chrome thing to see if it, would let, something with passwords or whatever.
Here's what I would do to start, and this is always a solution on Chrome. You could show my. Can you see my screen here? All right, so I'm in Chrome on the iPhone, but it's going to be the same on iPad. And if you go into settings, you'll see clear browsing data, little trash can next to it. Absolutely do that, and you don't have to be. Notice it starts with everything checked. You could uncheck a few of them, but honestly, I would clear it all. And knowing that you're not.
It's the cache.
Sorry?
We've tried that with just deleting the cache and stuff like that.
I would delete the cookies, the site. I mean, you slowly add more and more things because something in there is almost certainly what's going on. This is, yes, it's Safari, but Chrome has its own storage. So I would suggest absolutely clearing that.
Just out of curiosity for troubleshooting,
Does Safari
did
work?
your wife try doing it in Safari?
Yeah.
Does the Bitwarden website work there?
No, we didn't try anything by looking at Safari or any, and I didn't even know if that's on her iPad or not.
It would almost certainly be.
I don't think you can get rid of it. That's
I don't think Safari
one of
is
the things they're fighting with the
EU
about.
Can't be removed. But the reason to try that is just to see because if it also is doing this in Safari, then that means we know it's a system level setting that needs to be changed. There's something going on at the system level. If it does work in Safari, that definitely narrows it down to something going wrong with the Chrome browser. And so what we'd be able to do is kind of go from there. So I definitely, at some point, I would give that a try. Another suggestion that I would have is, if all else fails, if you try what Leo suggested with a complete kind of removal of everything, deleting and reinstalling the Chrome app on the phone could sometimes kick through whatever is causing the issue. But yeah, I would start with going into Safari. If it doesn't work there, then you could either email us, give us a call back, because there's something else going on that is more at the system level. Because there are some things that, again, at the system level, Safari's engine could be doing where it's just having trouble syncing up with the Bitwarden website. I know that Bitwarden now works with passkeys, for example, and it could be trying to autofill. Like when I went to the Bitwarden website, one of the first things it did was say, it kind of tried to sync with Bitwarden in the moment, and then it let me through. Maybe there's something going on where yours is not clicking through. So those are some options there that might be at issue.
I would also suggest two things. One is turn the phone off and on.
Yep.
Honestly, I don't know why, but I don't do it very often. My wife needs to reboot her iPhone almost every day. It just gets weird and wonky. So, you press and hold the volume up and on-off, screen on-off and button, and then slide to turn it off. You don't have to do a hard reboot. Just slide to turn it off and then turn it on again. And then finally, the best way to use Bitwarden on the iPhone or the iPad is with the app. Yep. There's a Bitwarden app. And that's easier, frankly, than, in my opinion, than going to the browser to get your passwords. That's
the way she was using it. So I guess I had to go with that.
Yeah. Well, if all else fails, But I think that all of these troubleshooting things are the standard troubleshooting things you do at any time an app doesn't work well. Mm-hmm. Clear the cache, clear the data, uninstall, reinstall, reboot the phone. Those things, it's worth doing all of those, I think.
If you do the bookmarks, that takes away all the places she's signed into and everything else.
That's why you kind of do it. Cookies are where all that stuff's stored, is cookies. Okay. So that's why you want to slowly increase the number of things you're clearing until it works. But the truth is, it's probably the cache, the data cache. If clearing that didn't fix it, it could be that it has a bad cookie. You can be selective in clearing cookies. So clear the Bitwarden cookies from the Bitwarden site. Make sure her day and date is correct on her phone. I don't see how it could possibly not be, but that's always another thing. If the certificate doesn't work, then the site won't load.
And just to check, I did go to Bitwarden's website in Chrome on my phone, and it is working here. So it's not like a system issue.
It should work
on there.
Yeah.
So it's her machine itself.
And that's why we're focusing on the stuff that's unique to her, like the cache. That's something that, and it's this happens a lot with browsing, where you start caching data or saving cookies that get corrupted, and then the website tries to load them and goes, I don't know what to do now. And that could very well be what's going on.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. I think you gave me a lot of good ideas and stuff like that.
Oh,
and,
it's great that you called.
See the show later, and she can listen to it and do whatever you guys said.
What's her name?
Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hope this works.
Good luck.
Take care.
Very good. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Take care. I am wearing my seaweed sweater. Do you want to touch me? Come on, touch the seaweed. It's nice.
Huh. Yeah. It's a lot more woven. It's a lot tighter woven than I thought it was going to be.
It is. In fact, they call it a summer sweater. This is from Oliver Charles. I'm not doing an ad for them. It was the middle of the night. I'm on Instagram. I see this video of them harvesting seaweed in the clean fjords of Iceland. And I thought, why am I seeing this video? And they said, now you can have a sweater made from this seaweed.
Wow.
And before I could even stop myself, I bought it. And that's the problem with Apple Pay. It's so easy.
It makes it so easy.
I'm just looking at the phone. It goes, okay, you got it. And it's like, no, but too late. Anyway, I like it. It's,
there was just a court filing with the FTC from Meta that shows Instagram makes more money from ads than YouTube does. And it has done so for years.
Makes more money. It was $32 billion in a year, I think, something like that.
Compared to 28.8 from YouTube.
Instagram makes, how does it make that money? Leo.
Ding, 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 ding.
Me. Buying everything I see in the middle of the night. You don't want to know how much Instagram stuff I'm wearing right now.
It's a good thing you don't have sleep issues where you would need to take that sleep medication, because then you'd buy even more.
Oh, if I took Ambien?
Yeah.
Bad news. I gave you the garden, though. That was one of the things I bought from Instagram last year. It's a hydroponic garden in your home.
Very cool, with its own lighting and
Is
everything.
it working? Is it doing it?
Yeah, it connected with the Wi-Fi.
The lights are on?
The lights are on.
It's very bright, isn't it? It's like daytime.
It's a little bright.
And then you're going to have lettuce.
Uh-huh. I'm very excited for the lettuce, the radishes.
All of that.
Cucumber.
Yeah,
cucumber.
Good. Is that what you're going to grow?
Yeah.
You can get one cucumber.
That's all I need.
It's not very big, right?
No,
I mean, it's
yeah.
because it's
each of the little pods is its own little thing. And think about growing some sunflowers as well.
Very
I love
pretty.
Sunflowers.
My experience was it's the leafy greens are probably the best way, because otherwise you don't have a lot of room.
Right.
You know, you'd grow one tomato. Another wonderful Instagram purchase.
Leo, do we need to talk about your addiction to buying things off Instagram? Do we need to have intervention?
Do you want to touch my sweater? I know you do. It's really nice. It's actually
yeah.
summer weight. They say as you wear it, it will conform to your body, which means it's tight, but it stretches a little bit. I've washed it once just to see, how it handled. Just
here he
comes
in
the washing machine.
Oh,
come on, touch my sweater. Go ahead. Not the velvet coat.
See, it's different.
Not bad,
I wasn't. It's tighter woven than I was thinking.
They do 3D knitting. You know that? There's no seam.
What does that mean?
They knit it as a tube.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's a seamless design. Wait, so are the arms seamless too?
Such a sucker. I guess.
Is there not a...
No, there's no seams.
Okay, that's pretty cool, actually.
The whole thing is knitted as in one piece.
That's actually really cool. Okay, now I'm going to buy one.
In Brooklyn.
They
knit them in Brooklyn.
And they're made in Brooklyn.
They're made in Brooklyn. Look, see, I got the check on my...
it's bad.
On my Twitter. All of a sudden, I'm going along and I go, wait a minute. I didn't pay for that. This account is verified since 2010.
Oh, so you did get it. I like that it goes back. I got the
full, it went right back at the full thing. And apparently I can use Grok and I can post video and stuff. I'm not going to.
Not that he's going to, but yeah.
I don't want to support Elon and his
weirdness, his weirdness.
Pro-Nazi propaganda. But yeah, I think there were a lot of people who tweeted, like Molly White said, no, I didn't pay for that.
No. For some people, it's kind of like, I don't want
I didn't want to be verified. 2,000 accounts with 2,500 verified subscriber followers will get a free premium membership. If you have over 5,000, free premium plus.
Yeah. So to be clear, the people who are following you have to be paid subscribers. You have to have 2,500 people who are following you who are paid subscribers of Twitter of X, at which point then you get your verification.
Which means you have to have like 1 million followers.
Yeah, because like I've got 8,000 something, but
they're
I don't have enough of them.
They're not blue checks.
Yeah.
You need the blue checks.
You got to have the blue checks.
It's kind of sad because wow, now I have all this free
extra stuff
and I don't want it.
Yeah. I don't need it. Yeah. I don't want it.
What should we do now?
Is it time for a refreshing pause?
Oh, let's do a question and then a pause.
Sure. How about this voicemail right here?
Hi, my name is Dale. I'm calling from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Hi, Dale.
I have a small digital conversion business, and I transfer like VHS to DVD or VHS to a digital format like a USB flash drive. And I wanted to know what's the best way to convert something from a DVD or VHS to some sort of flash drive format. I've been using something like Sound Beast or Diamond, these digital converters. They work okay, but I was wondering if there's something that I could use that would, even be better than these choices. If you could help me, I sure would appreciate it. So thank you very much.
I'm going to assume that you have Dale have some sort of analog to digital conversion tool. Because the first thing, DVDs are one thing because they're digital. You can actually just copy the contents of a DVD onto your drive and use Handbrake or whatever you want to convert those. But VHSs are analog. So it's really two different answers. But assuming that you can get the VHS to a digital form on your computer, and that's where you're going to want software, and probably the software that came with your capture device. A lot of people use the Elgato. There are a lot of different choices. Elgato is kind of the king of the hill when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, because the big thing that I've noticed with these systems, you go to Amazon or wherever and you get a digital, or you get a digital converter. You get it where it takes a VHS, turns it into a digital version. It's all written in the software is all made to do this conversion that is kind of locked away from you. You get the VHS and then it tries to immediately turn it into a DVD because it thinks that's what people want. What is better is to get that VHS, turn it into a digital format of some sort that you can do whatever you want with it. So then you could turn it into a really small HEIC, for example, or you could make it an MP4. Basically, you have control over what's best for what device that the individual user will end up wanting. That's what you need to find some way to kind of intercept, not have it do this all in one system. Because the reason they do that is because they think that's kind of what people want. And in many cases it is. They go, I just want this to be a DVD. But what you want is that file, because then it can be a DVD, it can be an MP4, it can be I can't think of what the one is, but yeah, whatever file format you end up wanting. MKV, thank you.
Yeah. How can I read your mind so well? The tool that I use is a free tool. I don't know if it's the best tool out there, but I think it's better than a lot of the commercial choices you mentioned, the Diamond. It's called Handbrake.
Absolutely.
Now, one thing to know about one thing to think about is, what do you want to put on the flash drive? Do you want the flash drive, for instance, to have all the DVD menus? You can't do this with VHS, but you can do it with DVDs. Do you want the menus? Do you want the extras? Do you want to, in other words, I put the flash drive in, or I put it on my hard drive and store it in a Plex server or whatever. Do I want it to load as if it's the DVD? Because you can do it so that it's indistinguishable, even with Blu-ray discs, so that it's indistinguishable from the original. Or that takes up a lot more space, right? You're going to basically be copying all the files, the VOB files, the VTS files, the whole thing over to your hard drive and storing it there, and then have a player that will actually load it as if it's the DVD. So you get the menus, all that stuff. Or, as many people want, do you want to I just want the movie. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I just want the movie plus the commentary. I just want that part of it. I don't need all the superstructure that goes along with it. Handbrake will do that very well, which convert it into a file format that is best for your playback. So that's the other thing you need to know is what I want to have playback, playing it back. The nice thing about Handbrake is it actually gives you a choice of different styles depending on what you're going to be playing it back on, or where it's going to be going. And they even have a setting for Gmail. Like, I'm gonna mail this to somebody. So I do like it for that reason. I think Handbrake's as fast as anything. I think it's just a front end FFmpeg, as I remember, but it does all the work you want to do. What it doesn't do is break the copy protection. That's a little more complicated. So and Handbrake explains what you need to do that. For instance, for DVDs, you need to download the other free tool, VLC, the VLC player. That can play back the DVD. It starts playback. It loads the key, the decryption key, into memory, and then Handbrake says, "Thank you very much," grabs it, and now can decrypt it. It's a little more complicated with Blu-ray. The Blu-ray protection is a little bit stronger, and for that, I actually do use a commercial program.
Have
you ever ripped a Blu-ray?
No, because I just was like, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Glad you found a way.
Well, it's copy protected even more, right? Mm-hmm. So there are a number of ways to do this. There is a tool called Make MKV. This is very commonly used, and that's that format that you were talking about. This does not store the menus. This just turns it into a video that you can use. Now that's free, or you can purchase a license for it. Make MKV is very popular. It's been around for a long time. I would try the free version first. This is a good article. I'll point you in this direction. It's from a couple of years ago. How to rip Blu-ray discs to your PC. This is from PC Magazine. Woodson Gordon did a good job writing this all up using Make MKV. I for a long time used a commercial program to do this, but I think the world has centered itself onto a Make MKV. And again, it's kind of shareware. You can buy it or not. I think that's probably the best way to go. And then again, you want to decide what format. You have a variety of choices, so that's going to depend somewhat. You said put it on a flash drive. Are you? And you said you have a service. Are you doing this for people? If they're bringing you their homemade DVDs, they won't have copy protection. This is very easy to do with Handbrake. But you want to ask them, okay, what do you want for playback? And you can even put a variety of formats on that USB key. A normal 2-hour movie is about 1 gigabyte in size when it's compressed through Handbrake, but you get some choices and you can make it bigger for higher quality and so forth. But assume about 1 gigabyte per hour is what I would say. So assume 1 gigabyte per hour. So a pretty big, a normal USB key is going to be able to hold 10 movies, 20 movies, a variety of copies. I don't think generally the commercial programs are as good because they are usually coming from Caribbean islands where they aren't going to get prosecuted because technically it's illegal to do this. The open source ones, they care a little bit less about that, and I think they keep it to themselves. There's a lot of parameters to this. Go to actually probably the best thing if you're doing Blu-rays, there are some good forums for all of this, including I think there's a Make MKV forum that would give you all the information you need. There's a lot of parameters setting, but those are the tools. Handbrake, Make MKV. You need some hardware to convert that VHS to digital form, and then you can use Handbrake to modify it, put it in a variety of different forms. The Make MKV forums are at makemkv.com. MKV is the Matryoshka format. You know what a Matryoshka is?
I don't. Is that a doll?
A nesting doll.
Yeah. And
so that's something to do with the fact that it's it's a wrapper for an encoded file. It's a nesting doll of video formats. MKV.
Cool.
Matryoshka. All right, we're going to take a little break, and then guess what? Johnny Jet is here, our traveling man. You're watching Ask the Tech Guys with 2, count them, tech guys. That's Micah Sargent. I'm Leo Laporte. We're glad you're here. Are you ready to travel?
I'm so ready.
Let's go to our traveling guide, Johnny Jet from JohnnyJet.com. Hey,
Johnny! Wow, look at that necklace.
Did you just come back from the islands, man?
I think he's there.
He's in the islands. Aloha! Are you on Waikiki? That looks like Waikiki.
Yeah, you know what? The clouds just rolled in, and it was beautiful like an hour ago.
But I could tell you've got a bit of a tan. You're getting some sun.
Well, I tried not to.
Are you down there with the fam?
Yes.
I guess
they put a tent in our room.
That's fun.
How fun.
So yes, definitely. And yeah, it's nice. I was walking along the beach yesterday and I ran into Rich DeMuro.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people down here. It's spring break, but we love coming here. Although coming here was kind of I wrote a post about it. Yeah. It's actually going viral right now thanks to Google picking it up. But we had 3 planes to get here. The first 2 planes had mechanical problems. One of them, the pilot's like, we have a problem with engine number 2, but maintenance says it's okay to go, but I'm not feeling it. So I'm going to refuse this aircraft.
Good on him.
Yeah, that's good.
And everyone applauded. It was amazing. I got it on video and I made a post out of it and Google has picked it up and,
I'm not feeling it. Oof. That gives me goosebumps.
I mean, it gave me goosebumps. And I was like, listen, I have no problem. It was a 6-hour delay. We had no idea. The pilot thought he was canceling the flight. He's like, I don't know what this means for you guys, but all I know is that I don't feel comfortable flying 6 hours over the ocean and not being 100%.
The aircraft is being observed, so to speak, because oil pressure on the number 2 engine is trending upwards. And the aircraft is going to require, actually it's the fuel pressure, fuel system filter replacement when the aircraft gets back from Hawaii. They've told us that the plane's good to go, but I'm not really feeling it.
Wow.
I'm not going to leave the ground if I'm not completely certain that we have an airworthy aircraft, so I'm going to probably err on the side of caution, and I'm refusing the aircraft. So what that means for you right now, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if we have another airplane here at the airport, but I hate to do this to you, but this is one of those tough calls that I have to make, and I feel a lot more comfortable making this call than flying 6 hours over the water and maybe having an issue. Anyway, that's where things stand now. I apologize for that. Your morning hasn't been so good.
Listen
we
to
do appreciate your patience, though. We're gonna
They're applauding him.
have everybody deplane the aircraft here momentarily.
You know what? Safety first. I agree 100%.
Definitely. I mean, if we were going to Chicago, I think people would be like, you know what?
Yeah, we can land in Des Moines, but
yeah,
there's an ocean between us and Hawaii. Wow. I have never heard of that happening. Wow.
And there were so many kids on the plane. And I mean, and my kids, everyone, they were great. Everyone was so patient. And, you know, the flight attendants and the pilots, you got to feel bad for them because they're not getting paid for delays. I mean,
that's right. They don't get paid till the door closes. Yeah. Yeah.
And so 6 hours. But listen, we made it. And it's all good.
Safe and sound. But, you know, bravo to that captain. I'm sure that was a very difficult decision for him to make.
Definitely. And that was our second plane of the day. So we had to get on a third one.
Yikes. But bravo to that captain. And, you know, here's an important thing to keep in mind when you're traveling. And that doesn't mean you're going to Timbuktu. It means you're going to Hawaii with a family. You got to be a little patient, right, Johnny? Travel.
Definitely.
This is the nature of travel. Things happen. Stuff comes up. There's waits. There's delays. And it's part of the process of traveling, right? If you don't want that, stay home.
So, and if that does happen, so what I was doing is I got on my phone, I started looking at alternate flights, and just, you know, because there's, you know, if they're going to cancel a plane with almost 200 people on it, you're going to have a hard time finding new seats. So I was going to get us new seats, and flights were cheap, by the way, $147 last minute for the next flight out. And anyway, but go to a gate agent. We had lounge access, so I went to the lounge, and they said, you know what, I think we're going to be able to find a new plane, and they did. Normally that doesn't happen, so you want to be protected and get on the next flight. So then ask an agent to protect you and put you on and change your flight if you aren't feeling it. And I was ready to go home and go back the next day and do it, but you have to have a plan B when you travel.
That's great. And you are there, and the family's digging it. I have this great picture of them on Waikiki Beach that you put up on your website, johnnyjet.com. Yeah. I love the title of your piece. I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah.
Wow. But good on him for doing that. We're all concerned with flight safety a little bit more than we have been in the past these days.
Definitely. I mean, Boeing's been getting, you know, right through the coils. And actually, a travel agency came up with a pretty clever website. It's called Am I Flying on a Boeing.com. Am I flying on a Boeing.com?
Oh, nice.
So if you go to that website, you put in your flight number, it tells you if you're on a Boeing or not.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And it's brilliant marketing because at the bottom it says
powered by who? Somebody?
It's some travel agency I never even heard of. I can't remember the name.
It's a travel agent.
At the bottom.
Okay.
But you put in any flight number if you know what your flight. You can put in what flight do I do? I do AC788. That's an Air Canada Boeing. I do that one often, which is LA to Toronto.
I'm just out of curiosity. You know, I use Flighty, so I always know exactly what equipment.
Definitely. I'm the one that turned you on to Flighty.
Yes, you are. And even though it's not free, I very happily pay for it because I've learned about flight delays before they even know that they're going to happen on at the gate. Let me just check my flight real quickly. Oh, drat. It says we couldn't find the aircraft model. That's why I have Flighty, because Flighty tells me it's an Airbus. Oh, thank goodness.
Your next flight, you mean? Or
yeah, I'm going to Rhode Island on an A320 a week from Monday. But I like those Airbuses, I have to say.
Yeah, we came in on Airbus.
Yeah.
So our flight was AA31. If you put that in, you'll see it says you're not on a Boeing. And but listen, no one should be scared about flying on Boeing. Boeing, they've had their problems.
It's a tiny fraction of the overall air travel.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
Lisa and I went to Cabo, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't say anything, but as we got on the plane to come home, I noticed it was a 737 MAX. And I just didn't mention it.
But
I just said, we'll get there when we get there.
How many times does the pilot who hears about the oil dealie choose to still fly, though? That's what worries me. Hearing that post,
I don't know.
Hearing that video earlier, I'm going, right, well, this pilot chose to not fly.
What's important is the captain is ultimately in control, right?
Definitely.
And I think these captains take their job very seriously.
One hopes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it also helps, when it's, someone who's been around for a while, I think he has. And, if it was someone who just got off, just got hired and they said it's good to go, they might go because, they don't know better.
Right.
Or they're afraid to stand up to the company. So.
Well, one hopes that you're flying with a company that lets its captains make those very crucial.
But see, that's all we have is hope, though. That's what I'm saying. That's not great. I kind of want more than just hope.
What else you got for us, Mr. Johnny Jet? JohnnyJet.com.
Well, I assume you talked about the Eclipse because NASA has a great website right now.
We did.
Check exactly
tomorrow.
The time.
Yep.
Okay. The Eclipse Explorer.
Now, are you going to see anything in Hawaii? No, you're really.
Yeah, actually, a little bit. You could go into that website. You search NASA Explorer Eclipse, and you'll see the website. You put in whatever city in the U.S. or zip code, and at 6:49 a.m. it's going to start here. But it's going to be like just a sliver, really.
Yeah. Well, make sure the kids don't stare at the eclipse.
No, you know what? This morning at that time it was cloudy.
And I think the kids will be asleep.
The sun's coming out now.
Yeah.
It changes so much here.
Yeah. What hotel do you like in Waikiki?
I mean, listen, we're at the Halekulani, which is prime time. Yesterday, a couple days ago, we were at the Halapuna, which is their sister property, which is really nice as well. Not as expensive, but you got the Hilton Hawaiian Village, which we went to their luau on Friday night.
That's supposed to be the best luau in town.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the greatest weather.
Well, you can't control the weather. You can do everything else, but you can't control the weather.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And also, what do I have for you? I got Nexus and Global Entry are raising their prices. So if you want to beat it, now is the time to do it. I mean, we've talked about this many times, but Nexus is the best deal in town. It's $50 for 5 years and includes Global Entry and TSA PreCheck. Global Entry is $100 for 5 years. They're both being raised to $120.
It's still worth it. Believe me. It really is. I did the Global Entry because you told me to. And of course, the hard thing is to get the interview. Now, Nexus, do you have to do it in Canada?
You have to do it at a border city. So either in Canada or you have to do it in like Buffalo or Seattle, Niagara.
Because it's the Canadian
Maine
plan. But Global Entry, you can do in many airports. My little trick was you can do it when you're flying back from an international flight. Then you don't have to make an appointment because I think there are no appointments available. They're very hard to get the appointments.
Well, and I also have another site that actually will get you an appointment.
What's that?
You have to pay for it. It's $29. And actually, I just lost it on my notes. Let me just bring up my news that I wrote about it yesterday, actually. It was a rerun, but the site it's for Global Entry, Nexus, and Century. Century is the Mexican one. And actually, that price is going to go down because right now Century is $122.50, but they're all going to $120. Huh. So there's a couple ones. One's called an appointment scanner. It's an app, appointmentscanner.com.
Oh, so they're going out and looking at whatever, there's some digital API that they can
It's a bot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the moment someone cancels their appointment, you get a notification. And I've had multiple readers say they found one in 10 minutes at places they could not get for months.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
How to quickly find Global Entry Nexus and Sentry appointments from Johnny Jet also on johnnyjet.com. You know, I have Global Entry and I've yet to use it, but someday.
Oh, you yet to use Global Entry?
Yeah, I'm sure it's really cool.
Is it because the lines are not long when you arrive, or you just haven't been traveling internationally?
It's because I have a partner who doesn't have Global Entry.
Oh, gosh. There was actually a story about that the other day about what do you do?
You don't do Global Entry because I'm not leaving Lisa to get in the long line while I go, hey, see you later. That'd be flying back. She said, I want to upgrade. I said, great, check, see if there's upgrade. She said, there's an upgrade for one, and I'm not going to leave you in the back, which was very nice. So I said, well, then I'm not going to use Global Entry. So there. It's a little, nice. But someday she'll have it, and then we'll both be skating through the passport controls. It'll be a lot.
But rumor has it with this new, when they roll it out in October, the new prices, they're no longer going to require kids to have an appointment, which has been ridiculous. I had to sign my kids up when they're not even 1 year old and go find.
So what's your criminal record, little Johnny?
I know what you've done.
I think it's a nice way to travel. You get kind of a free pass going through the customs. When we came back from Cabo, it was an hour and a half, long lines on a Saturday afternoon at SFO to get into the country, and it was just a long, long wait, and I was kind of sad.
So at SFO, actually, people say Global Entry lines are long. So what you do is use Mobile Passport.
Do they still? I thought they stopped
doing
the name.
That. They changed the name of it. So let me tell you the name changes. I've been meaning to write about this. And,
this was the one where some of the airports in the U.S. had machines that you would go up to. Machines. I sound like an old.
Now called
these machines.
Now called MPC. Mobile Passport Control.
Mobile Passport, and then there's an app, right?
Yeah, this is the app. So you can get it right on their website, the government's website. I'll put it in the chat room, but it's on Google Play and the Apple Store. And I haven't used this because I have Global Entry, but when you land, you just take a picture, you put in all your information. And boom, I have friends that say they use it at SFO instead of Global Entry because the Global Entry line's long because everyone has it.
Here it is. I have it. Begin your entry process. New submission, guide to getting started. Now let's see where it's supported. Oh, all over the place. Okay. So you can see what airports they say. I wish I had checked this. This you don't need to sign up for a program, right? Anybody can use this.
Anyone can use it. That would have saved you an hour and a half.
Oh, man. I wish I'd done this. So now I know.
Make a mental note.
Next time, make a mental note. Because Lisa could have downloaded this app, too. We could have used it to get through real quick. I've used it before back when they had the kiosks. But now they don't. They decommissioned the kiosks very quickly. But this is the same idea, but you do it on your phone. Yeah, see, my passport's in here and everything. Huh. I guess I've used this before and forgot.
Yeah. Listen, that happens to me.
I'm in here. Okay, good. Nice. Johnny Jet. JohnnyJet.com is the website. Go there and you can get all of this and a lot more. He's always publishing great, useful stuff for traveling. And I think we're kind of getting back to traveling again, which I'm very happy about. We got to get this guy here traveling. He doesn't like to travel.
I doubt I'll ever be able to afford traveling. I don't. It's not in my. It's not.
We're going to Japan.
When are you going to Japan, John?
No. He was. You and I are supposed to take.
We talked about that back when I was a little bit more idealistic and not realistic.
Micah, it's okay. I'll go to Japan for you.
Thank you.
Japan is wonderful. I'd love to go to Japan again.
I really think we should do a quick trip there.
Yeah, I agree. Well, or Hawaii. Have you ever been to Hawaii?
No.
Virgin Islands?
No.
Aruba, Jamaica?
No.
Bermuda?
Oh, I see you're doing the song.
Yeah, girl, I want to take you Aruba, Jamaica. No, I'm sorry that you have not seen the world, and we're going to have to give you a raise. That's all there is to it.
A travel raise?
A travel raise.
My first time out of the country, I was 23.
Oh, to live that privileged life. Woo!
So you're a young man.
Why should people travel, Johnny?
There's multiple reasons, but as corny as it sounds, I truly believe the more people travel internationally, the less prejudices there will be in the world.
Amen.
And I remember my first time going overseas, I was so afraid. You're watching like Fox News and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get my head cut off. And I go to another country, I'm like, oh my God, I feel safer here than I do at home.
Going to Mexico is such a pleasure. The people are so warm. It's so much fun. And I think there are a lot of people who say, oh, I read all the bad stories about what happens in Mexico, I'm not going. No, it's not that way at all. It's an amazing place. That's just one example. That one's easy to get to. We can get you over the border.
It's the people, it's the food.
Oh, the food.
Change the scenery. It's just.
And seeing people from other cultures and experiencing other cultures is such a wonderful experience.
Definitely.
It freshens your mind. It gets you out of your rut. It gets
really
you
does.
to see things another way. And I think that's a very valuable thing to do.
100%.
Johnny Jet, I'm going to let you go. You got to go enjoy the beach with your young ones.
Yeah, get out there.
I didn't spend a lot of time in Waikiki Beach. That is a very crowded beach.
Yeah, some people hate it. I love it because it's easy. There's so many restaurants, hotels.
Go to the North Shore. That's nice.
Yeah, Turtle Bay is a great place.
Oh yeah.
Or go to Maui, Kauai, Big Island.
I always thought Oahu would be too touristy for me, and then we went to the North Shore and it was beautiful and I loved it. And I think
there's parts of Oahu.
Oahu could be just as wild as any other of the other Hawaiian islands. It's a beautiful place. And Honolulu's fun. Go to the Arizona Memorial. The last sailor, the last survivor of the Arizona passed last week.
Oh, wow.
And
he was 104.
Yeah, it's an amazing, very reverent, very powerful experience to go out to the Arizona. It's a memorial on the site where the boat was sunk.
Wow.
And hundreds of sailors died. Many of the people, including I'm sure this guy who just passed, who were survivors, have made their last resting place with their comrades under the sea in the Arizona. And it's a very beautiful memorial. And
you can still see the oil come up. That oil still leaks up.
Still leaking up. There's a little oil slick there.
When you land, when you fly into Honolulu, stay on the left side of the plane and you'll have a view of it right before touchdown. You can see
cool.
It.
There's great museums there. There's lots to see. It's really a wonderful site. All right, John, have a fun time in Oahu with your fam.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
we're getting ready to pack up and go home anyway. So we've been here for a while and we love it.
So great. JohnnyJet.com. Follow him on Instagram. You can see the picture Rich DeMuro took of Johnny and Rich on the beach and a whole lot more. He's also on YouTube. He's also on Twitter. He's everywhere. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Johnny.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
You're watching Ask the Tech Guys. Micah Sargent over there.
Leo Laporte right over there.
More to come. What more would that be?
How about let's do another email?
I like the emails. Yeah. You notice my shoulder's really loosening up.
I know, it's very impressive.
I blame the kombucha.
I need to do that more. Your gut biome is just...
Kombucha fixes everything.
It does.
I've recently discovered
what my chakra artist told me.
Yeah, get some kombucha in you. Google photo video retrieval. This comes from Steve. And he ends it with, I hope that makes sense.
Oh, dear.
Hello, Leo and Mikah. Thanks to on-air advice from Leo years ago, I digitized 75 hours of analog family tapes, VHS and 8mm and MP4 format. I also stored another several hours of mini DV tapes in MP4 format. All of the above stored locally and on Google Photos with no editing done. Oh, it's a lot of video. How can I find a way to make all these videos searchable by date, person, event, location, etc.? I'm thinking I'm going to have to watch each video, make notes of the above attributes. I would love to have a system where a family member could click a link and go to their chosen interest at the appropriate time mark on the video.
Oh, my.
I think it's only a matter of time before AI makes this pretty automatic.
Just built in, yeah.
I wouldn't spend any time right now doing it. I do think MyLeo is probably the best bet for at least
the photo part.
Mylio will store the videos. It will do what you just asked for automatically on the stills. I don't know if it has that capability on videos, but they have so many cool features. They just I can't remember. Are we allowed to tell them what we just learned?
Oh yeah, which ones and which ones not?
Oh, they should never tell us this stuff. They have some very interesting sharing features, and they've just added some family tree features, which I think are really cool, where you can automatically add this stuff to your family tree. I think here's what I would suggest, because I know AI will solve this.
Yep.
It hasn't yet, but I know AI will solve this, Steve. I would get it into Mylio. It's free for one computer, so at least do that. MYLIO. Free for your first computer. If you want to put it on multiple systems, which I do for backup purposes, then there's a Mylio Pro subscription. It's not very expensive. This is kind of an amazing program. Former sponsor, I think they're coming back. I hope they are. So that for sure will give you at least a starting point, I think, that you can then, I think, within a year they'll have
lay the foundation, and then
they have video, but they'll have that video recognition, because they do it right now with people in stills, right? So you just say, that's Grandma, that's Aunt Jane, that's Joe, that's Kenny, and then it will automatically find all the photos of all those people. And it also does all the things you just described with stills of, saying, well, here you are in the mountains, here you are in Oahu, all of that stuff. So I think in time, I'm going to bet there will be AI solutions that will do that with video as well.
Probably automatically add chapters to a movie and that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yep. I think this is just a matter of time. I'm really excited about, here's the family history thing. Let me find a picture that let's see. We're going to post those memories to Family Search. Okay. And this is free. This is part of the Mylio feature set. Oh, you have to create an account, so I won't do that right now. But they share it to Family Search, which is the LDS database. You can then cross-reference. You can basically build a family tree with it, and it's all done automatically. Exactly what you just described, including the sharing, currently with stills.
Soon.
I don't know if anything they'll do it with video yet. If that happens, Mylio will do it first. For some reason, they're crazy about adding new features. And let me see if Google does that with videos. They will do a highlight video.
Yeah, I'm wondering about.
So I think maybe the next step, you're already in Google. So yeah, it says Google has added this feature called AI-driven Reels. Oh, I've seen these.
Yeah,
right?
but isn't that like with...
It's highlights.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Apple does with Apple Photos.
Yeah.
I was more, I mean, this is the thing. There are multiple ways to pull this off right now, but I do think the sit and wait is the better.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a lot of effort into it because
I've thought of a whole process where you could do it by hand. You would, run it through Mac Whisper, get those transcripts, put them into you could upload to YouTube with an unlisted link and then have chapters. But see, that's so much more complicated than just waiting. Yeah.
Just within a year, I promise you. Here's the Discord is sending us a Wall Street Journal. Thank you, Eat the Oligarchs. Isn't that ironic? Eat the Oligarchs reads the Wall Street Journal. I don't know what that means. Maybe he's just, keeping up on the enemy. But this home gym equipment watches you work out. So fitness gear is now using AI to watch your workouts and intervene. Peloton does it, Tempo, Fitcher, and it's not doing it as a human. It's doing it as AI. Now, I should warn you, a lot of what we thought was AI is turning out to be humans.
That's true, too.
What was the recent...
it's very common with 3D rendering stuff.
About, what was it? A service that was discontinued because it was so expensive because the humans had to do all the work.
It says Amazon's workout or walkout?
Oh, the walkout. You're right. Amazon walkouts. So Amazon stores, they had this thing where you take it off the shelf and you walk out and you don't pay. And it's all done with AI. Turns out... almost 90% of the videos had to be reviewed by a human to make sure that they actually were charging you for the thing that you were carrying out in your hand. And we're learning more and more self-driving vehicles. There's a lot more takeovers by humans than we thought. So there certainly are some areas where maybe AI has not panned out quite with what we thought. But I think it's pretty clear that Google Photos, Mylio, other tools are able to, Apple too, recognize people in stills. That will be extended to videos. It has to be, right?
Yeah, I almost certainly. Why not? Why would that not be next?
Yeah, because video is just a bunch of stills.
Well, and think about how it's also an opportunity for all of these companies to update their terms of service that we automatically agree to, so and suddenly they're training their AI models with our photos and with our videos.
That was, by the way, another story that we're going to be talking about in just a few minutes on This Week in Tech. It turns out that OpenAI was training its videos on YouTube videos without asking permission of Google. And Google's now changing its policies so that they can train their AI on your YouTube videos.
I mean, if it's public.
Well, it was against Google's terms of service. Meta, I guess,
OpenAI.
OpenAI kind of must have gotten caught or admitted it. But basically what we found out is that the OpenAI guy, this was in the New York Times this week, the OpenAI guy said, yeah, just do it anyway. Just do it anyway.
I mean, isn't that kind of their whole thing, frankly?
Yeah, just go ahead and do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
We are so glad you did one thing, which is to join us on this show today.
We are so glad.
We do the Ask the Tech Guy show every Sunday about 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1800 UTC. You can join us and watch it live. I know you need to watch it live to call live, right? So we put it on YouTube, youtube.com/twit. As soon as we start the show, we go live. You can watch. If you want to call us, you can call in during the show at 888-724-2884. If you are calling when the show's not on, in about 5 minutes to next week, then you can leave a voice message. And we love the voicemails. You heard one. So that's great too. You can email atg@twit.tv. So please do send us your videos, your audios, leave a voicemail message. We will get to as many as we can next week. I will show you more toys next week, I'm sure. We're going to get this Newton out to our caller.
James, I think.
Yep, that's good, but you can't have my Atari. My little baby Atari, that's mine to keep forever. I thought I would never again see my Atari 400.
That's so cute.
It'd be so nice if these keyboards
I know,
worked.
I was hoping it was real.
It doesn't. That'd be nice. I could do
stickers.
Atari Basic. I spent so many hours typing programs in on this membrane keyboard. I had blisters on my fingers.
It's like you could play guitar after that.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Micah, you're going to be back here on Tuesday for iOS Today.
Mm-hmm. Thursdays for Tech News Weekly. And all of the other shows I do publish on Thursdays as well as part of the club.
Here's some exciting news. Micah's going to stick around for Twit.
I am indeed.
And he's going to be back on the 21st, our next open house, because I realized people wanted to meet you.
They did. Some of them, yeah.
And here's some more good news. On the 21st, Jason Howells agreed to come in and do Twit with us.
Well, that's lovely.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. So we're going to get out of here so we can start letting our studio audience in. You stick around. Don't go anywhere.
I won't be going anywhere.
In just a few minutes. We thank you all for joining us.
Thanks so much.
On behalf of Micah Sargent, I'm Leo Laporte. Have a great Geek Week.
Bye-bye.